Hello. I just wanted to do, I was like, I should do something dramatic as our intro today, but no, I just wanted to go full on cheese, like, hello. Hello. Welcome to Eric's TBD RPG, the gaming show where we game. Today on Eric's TBD RPG, we have a select game called Doctor Who, which we will be playing for the next 3 hours. And with us, we have an excellent cast, whose names I don't remember. Thank you for watching. The end. No. Yeah, hi everybody.
It sounded like you were about to say that Cindy really wants you back, and she wants you to hear this song to remember the good times. I was going to say,
I'm Casey Kasem. Yeah,
and get a
totally.
Totally.
So yes, welcome back after that lame intro. I am Eric, and welcome to TBD RPG. And today, of course, we are continuing our saga in the Doctor Who RPG by Cubicle 7. Keep up the good work, guys. They just came out with a new book 2 days ago, The Black Archives. Which they were very kind enough to send me a free PDF of. Ooh. So I have my reading cut out for me. Yeah, they're coming on. Dude, I don't know. I had never heard of Cubicle 7 before until I looked up to see if there was a Doctor Who RPG, and a lot of our viewers, you guys didn't even know either. They've been publishing this game for a while now, and the books are just so nice. They're just really great quality books. They came out with an investigations book about, oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Oh my God, she's one of my favorite characters in all of Whodom.
Start using your words. Just describe.
She is Madame Vastra.
Oh, yeah.
Madame Vastra. They came out with a game setting and like an entire source book for her and like in Victorian London and stuff like that. So if you don't want to play as the Doctor or you want to play like an expanded universe, this game like gives you so many options. Aside from Torchwood and Unit and everything else, you could do Vastra investigations sort of things. Anyway,
So excited.
just rambling today. So yes, welcome back, Sam, Duncan, Amy, and Gina. And of course, returning is Jason Charles Miller as Davros, who is expertly using our Vast set piece right there. I have to say, like, giving us the thing, giving us the Davros. Thank you, by the way, to our crew, as always, for throwing the stuff together. And thank you, Duncan, for giving us batteries to our TARDIS. I don't think anybody can hear this, but we have a TARDIS. They can?
Nice.
Nice.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Okay, so before we jump into the game today, does anybody have any announcements or anything they want to talk about, anything they're up to, aside from that wicked cool Tabletop Day music video that we just dropped? Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't seen it.
Whoever
It's-
wrote
it's-
that
I
was
haven't
really
seen
awesome.
Yes.
Whoever was in that was really awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's,
Amazing spinning.
we had, yes. Sam
That's
totally.
how I roll.
Sam totally. Oh. Yeah, so check it out. The tabletop video just dropped today. Of course, it's in late April, the 27th, I believe. Is it 29th? 29th, April 29th. Yeah, it's a cute little music video that you guys put together, and it was so much fun. And I am going to tell the audience this. I was behind the scenes, and I recorded a video of the very first take where they did that shot all the way through, and it's effing hilarious. And I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna get Goldie. I'm gonna get our social media to post it up on Facebook here at some
Because
point.
what we did was we slowed down the song to halftime and
Right.
then had everyone do their moves in real time, choreographed by Amy Vorpal.
Right,
By the way.
from
Choreographed the whole
Foreververse
thing.
and Mothership and yeah.
Yeah, but then
No, I really
yeah.
seen that.
Listen to it.
It was demonic.
It's like,
That's just how I
yeah,
do.
it's
Really?
awesome.
There was yes, because they were just sitting up there going. It was like if somebody slowed a typo negative song all the way down, which was just like, and then everyone was spinning and happy. It was like it looked satanic. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there might be something to Tabletop Day we haven't thought about yet. Okay, well, I guess let's get to the recap.
Announcements.
Oh, you have announcements.
Our two-part season finale for Vast starts on Monday. There's
the
two
season
different
finale for
crews.
Vast is Monday.
Yeah, two-parter. So it'll be this Monday,
Two-parter.
next Monday. We have two alternating crews, and we met for a mid-season thing, which
Oh,
went
right.
badly for our crew.
Really bad.
And rematch starts next Monday.
Dude.
Thanks.
Vast is doing really well. Vast is a great show. It's doing really well.
thank you.
It's doing
That's so
awesome. Yeah, Sam.
Yes, and I've talked about it a little bit on this network, but I'm going to talk about it again because this is a space day. And I am a guest editor for the Deaf Poet Society Journal for our special issue, Crypts in Space. about disability futurism and what it will be like
Oh my God.
to have disabled people in space, because so often in sci-fi, we're not there. And there are such great questions, like, you know, I would maybe rock zero grav. And so we're inviting people from this community and from all over to submit to that. The issue will be released on May the 4th, because of course it will. And there will be more info to come in the weeks ahead.
Yay!
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's really
awesome.
great.
Oh my gosh.
idea.
Yeah, so anyone with poetry, essays, prose, art, yeah, get making.
Wicked. All right. So
cool.
Sweet.
How's everybody else? Anybody else got any announcements? Anything coming up? I will say stay tuned for the next episode of Signal Boost, because that's going to be Amy Dallen's episode of Signal Boost.
What?
Yes, you are next.
Ooh.
Amy Dallen is coming up, which you all had to have known, because the promo for that
Yeah.
was Amy chasing us all
The
with
axe.
the freaking Garrick's axe from Magic the Gathering. Yeah, good times. All right, let's jump into the whole multiverse is collapsing, we're all going to die Doctor Who game that we're playing. When last we left off, Eric talked for 3 hours straight as 20 different characters. Last game, you guys made connections with everybody from this reality. And don't worry, I'm just going to, before I continue, I will say to the viewer at home who might be already complaining about this, I will be spitting out my gum, don't worry about it. So the last game, you guys connected with everyone from this reality. You finally had a face-to-face with Rose, who you haven't seen since you left her in Bad Wolf Bay the second time, with your clone, the 10 clone, who is part human now, with one heart and will age and die, and he's gone off and had a life with Rose, and they've had a child that they named David, who theoretically is like 1/4 Time Lord. But they have gone off. You even caught some information about what's going on with Donna. Apparently, the Donna in this universe has not gone off on adventures with the Doctor, but has made neighborly friends with the Doctor clone, whose name is, oh my God, John Smith. I almost forgot that. John
And it's
and
so hard to remember.
it's weird calling it's weird calling him John. Like, even as a storyteller, it's
Yeah.
weird calling him John. So John and Rose have made friends with Donna. I picture it kind of like Jumanji, where like, you know, where like Robin Williams, where they go back to like present day and they make sure to be friends with the kids again in present day. It's kind of that sort of thing where like, of course, Donna doesn't know, but Rose and John know, so they made sure to get bosom buddies with Donna. You discovered that these temporal guard, who have basically placed a travel ban, so to speak, on, did not mean to get political just then. But it is in fact a travel ban on time travel. So let's. I just swallowed my gum. So see, I told you I was getting it. Anyway,
Overturned.
so I will not need a sandwich today. And yes. So back to the travel, the temporal ban, we'll call it. So the temporal ban that has been placed on time travel.
Temporal.
The temporary temporal ban. Anyway, concentrate, Eric. Yes, so these guys are basically the. I've described them as sort of the agents. Again, using a Matrix reference, they're like the agents. They basically show up when they see that temporal disruptions have been detected, and then they kill or arrest whoever is even directly connected or indirectly connected with what's happened. You guys had that brief battle, that brief runaway with the TGs. You made contact with UNIT. You discovered Sarah Jane Smith in this reality is doing what Sarah Jane does, but she is the head of UNIT now. Not only is she the head of UNIT, though, but she's changed a little bit in this reality. She's had to become a little harder. She actually reminds you a little bit of... this is the problem with forgetting your notes, too.
Kate.
Kate, thank you. She reminds you a little bit of Kate, who in the Prime universe is in charge of UNIT. It's been a bit of an adjustment from what I can tell as a storyteller, watching you sort of like acclimate to this new Sarah. But deep down, she's the same old Sarah. It's been weird for poor Finn, who's having to see London for the very first time in modern day. It's been weird for everybody involved, especially Cillian, who made contact with your cousin, who was the only family figure in your life, Mickey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Mickey.
and in this reality, Mickey was your guy. Like in this reality, you were his superior officer in unit, which kind of is a mind-blowing revelation.
Yeah.
And you two have managed to. It's weird. He needed forgiveness from you because apparently he was inadvertently responsible for your death in this reality, and he needed.
And somehow that made him okay
Yeah.
in my eyes.
Well, it's that's the thing. Is like this whole transporting to a new reality has
Yeah.
offered a really unique ability to
some perspective,
heal.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been strange, but it's like a really unique ability to. It's him, but it's not him. But it's him.
And it's me, but it's not me.
Exactly. So the two of you have been given a very rare opportunity to get the hell over it. And because this guy is him, but he's not. He didn't make the same choices. So
Yeah.
it's like the two of you were. It's a rare moment where the two of you were able to just let go and be bros again.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, part of it was the fact that he credited me for his success.
Yeah.
Made me feel pretty good.
Look,
Stroke
if you're
that
gonna
ego.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
tip your hat, then
I
let's
mean,
just acknowledge
Good
this.
job, you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What can I say?
being the bigger man.
No, not at all. Being the more vain man.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Rocco.
Implying.
Rocco had an interesting time almost getting arrested by UNIT for failing to brain lockpick Sarah Smith's memories using your telepathy to try to figure out what she knows. Almost got yourself arrested. Made friends with UNIT in the end, though. They were very impressed with Rocco's ability to figure things out. And then you also had one of the funniest lines in the game, which was, "Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You guys are too shooty. We're going to cause we're going to go ahead and impose a careful what you have in your mouth." That's going up on GNS quotes. Careful what you have in your mouth while we play the game today. You will swallow gum. You will choke on coffee. You will do all
Yes.
sorts of things. So, and then of course the big reveal. Sarah Jane, who was really terrified of admitting that they've been using. Sarah, it's clear that UNIT has been using some kind of technology or equipment or something that's kept them one step ahead of the TGs here in modern day London. You weren't sure why. Sarah Jane was also really keen on getting her hands on your vortex manipulator, which you let her do, and you guys are going to be able to manipulate these vortex manipulators to acquire a technology that will allow you to get in and out of this temporal guard's base without having to go through the front door like a D&D dungeon crawl from hell. But it required the savvy of somebody who has a technological acumen on par with the Doctor. Did such a person exist on planet Earth? Technically, no, except yes. As she took you down into the lower foundations near the Black Archives, she took you to the back room where you found Davros, alive and well in this reality, where all Daleks were supposed to be annihilated. Here is the creator of the Daleks, and he seemed to almost be expecting you. And when we last left off, you two had just had a brief conversation about what the hell do you want and how are you still alive? Like, what are you doing here? And where we pick up today is you and Sarah Jane standing in front of Davros, just as we left off from the last game. Sarah Jane standing next to the Doctor right now, you can see she has turned a few shades of pale. Clearly, there's an obvious sense of shame and worry on her face as she's watching you watch Davros. But there's also the fact that Davros, no matter what state he's in, Davros is just effing terrifying. This is one of the single greatest threats the universe has ever known. And at least in your universe. And yet here he is in his own luxury suite at the bottom of the Black Archives in a small laboratory filled with books. And I'm going to assume that Davros probably gets Netflix down here. Been catching up on Stranger Things in this
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitch in that reality, by the way. Geeky Sundry Twitch. And that is where we kick off the game. Yes, Davros, what's fascinating to you is everything in your bones. You knew the doctor was coming because you've been told by Sarah Jane that the doctor was here. You were not expecting a woman to open that door, but you are familiar with Time Lord regeneration. It has been one of your great fascinations. Of course, if anyone's seen the last episode of Who, oh no, it was actually this last season of Who at the very beginning, where Davros was very keen on Doctor Regenerate and Time Lord regeneration. You knew this was possible. You've heard of Time Lords doing things like this before. And it's interesting to see you also are aware, just because of what you know of the Doctor, that this might be the Doctor's last regeneration. If everything you know about this Doctor is to be believed. So the two of you are standing face to face for the very first time, even in an alternate reality, Doctor. Even in an alternate reality, Davros is the putrescent, horrible, murderous-looking cybernetic abomination that he was in the past reality. The distorted face, the scarring, the eyes that look like they've been closed for centuries. They've kind of like almost grown together, like skin bridges attaching from one lid to the next. And you see like the contortions and wrinkles, and of course that huge blue, horrible, cold eye in the center of his forehead with all the cyber technology and the unmistakable base of a Dalek from the waist down, and the chair, the back, everything. It's just as horrible as you remember it. And then a car drives by. You're good.
All roads lead to Davros.
All roads lead to Davros. And then all of a sudden you're in Frogger. So Sarah Jane, she looks at you and she says, with his help, we have a chance to utilize the technology that we've been discussing to get you inside the TG space. Don't look at me like that, Doctor. She immediately just kind of looks away from you, can't make eye contact.
Of all people, Sarah Jane Smith.
I told you I had to make certain concessions.
How long? How long have you been working together?
Almost a year now.
And what have you given him?
Sanctuary.
From what?
The Time Lords. Oh wait, you're not here.
Oh,
You're not here.
No.
Where
Yeah.
am I?
Only
You guys are all
Oh,
upstairs.
right.
yes.
You
Sarah
two
Jane
in
goes,
the
the Time
room.
Lords. Oh my god! How
did you get
How is that
here?
even possible?
I brought my friends.
Um,
They're all going to judge you.
I spend 10 story points and immediately appear. So yeah, she says about a year now.
And what do you want, Davros? Are you doing this out of the goodness of your heart and your love for humans?
My love for humans is clearly known. My love for humans. My love.
I'd say it is, yeah.
But
I'd say it is.
I was given a choice to survive or die. And like anyone, I would chose to survive. I can assist in certain ways that are unique to my intellect. Therefore, I was chosen to stay here and help the humans.
And you're not trying to escape. You're not trying to take over the world, exterminate everyone.
Escape for me is not an option. Therefore, survival is my only choice.
I'm sorry, we can't trust him.
We haven't had a choice.
There are always choices.
Yes, well, Doctor, for us, the choice was incur the wrath of Gallifrey or ally with an ancient enemy to save us all. There's a good chance that Earth would not have been here for you to arrive at had we not allied with him. I'm sorry. You know I wouldn't have done this if I didn't have to.
I'm just saying, if I'm the only one who thinks he's inevitably going to turn on us,
Oh, well, yes.
I'm comfortable being wrong.
No, I think you're probably right about that. And Sarah Jane and the doctor just blatantly saying this in front of you. Just like, no, he's probably going to try to kill us all at some point, I have no doubt. But it was a question of between then or yesterday. Once the Time Lords, from what we've learned, once the Time Lords won the war and the Daleks were exterminated, we were next. It almost seemed like Gallifrey, whoever the Lord President is, she or he decided to turn their attention on all of your former allies. We haven't heard from many of them. Yes, really.
And we don't know who the Lord President is.
Well, no, we would have no way of knowing. Gallifrey is, as you know, quite a long ways from here, and we have
We
no...
have a couple of friends who've been in their prisons.
Have you? From this reality? From ours?
Perhaps a word in private.
Excuse us, please. And Sarah Jane and the doctor begin to back away. The door closes as they step back, and she enters a code.
Oh, fine, guys.
Amy,
I never get to
I need
do
the doctor
anything
to...
cool with you guys.
You guys! So, Amy, I need you to make a... This is going to be... I don't even know why I bother having you roll this sometimes. This is going to be an ingenuity and technology.
Yay!
Yes. Our 900-plus-year-old Time Lord. Actually, how old would the Doctor be by your timeline? Because you were 10.
Alt 11.
So by yours, you would be just regenerating into 11. The chat's screaming the answer to this right now. I have no doubt. I think it would be like 911 or something around there.
900.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
900 years old. You reach. Look as good. You will not. Eh?
Very true.
Oh, I did it.
What?
I was just gonna keep rolling until I rolled 2 TARDISes.
And you got it?
I just
Well, now
did
you
it.
wasted the roll.
I know. I just really
Warm
wanted
them up.
Oh my gosh.
warming them.
Wait. Time. Hey, Glitter Lord, are you here? Do we have a Ryan?
Yeah,
We
there's
don't
a
have-
glitter. Yeah, there's a glitter lord.
Do we have a Glitter Lord? Hey, Glitter Lord, could you do me a favor? Could you run to my desk back in the office and grab one TARDIS dice tower that should be sitting behind my computer?
Wouldn't glitter
Be a
lord, yeah.
glitter
Because
lord
you
if you
love
could be
glitter
like
like you love
Because he's the Glitter Lord.
Got it.
The way Davros loves dominating all life, Ryan loves glitter. Yes. So, so yeah, let's go ahead and you can go ahead and make that roll. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. Just
2
do
years
it.
of running this channel. All right.
Of course, it gets everywhere.
Do I get the +2 advanced technology?
Oh yeah,
bonuses?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
13, 15, 8, 23.
The lock that she's using for to keep Davros in there, it's way beyond the typical human tech. Probably like tech 6 or 7, which is still dramatically under Dalek technology. So when you watch her like do a hand scan and you see the lock mechanism go into place, Sarah Jane probably doesn't realize this, but Davros could walk out of here if he wanted to. If that's supposed to
No
keep people
drift.
in or out, yeah. If that's supposed to keep your
Well, it's
immediate,
downstairs.
and
Yeah.
he couldn't walk
That's
out
the
of it.
point.
that would be alarming, right?
Glide out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And also, can I just point out, since we're in an alternate Doctor
Thank
Who
you.
universe,
Oh, actually, could you give that to Amy?
You could be nicer,
But-
I guess.
yeah, no, but by
Thank you,
Star
sir.
Trek rules, he has a goatee.
That's true.
So,
alternate universe stuff.
universe.
Ladies and
goatee.
gentlemen, we were about to
true.
see Ryan Green on camera. Let's just
Glitter
pause for a
Lord?
second. And there he is. Oh my God, there he is. You're
save the
Ryan
day.
Green. He's kind of just gonna hand this up. Yes.
That's
Yes,
cool.
thank you. Just his shoulder. That was the shoulder of Ryan Green, everybody. Thank you so much. Our guest appearance on the show today.
Incredible.
Thank you, Gina.
So good.
So you know how it just pops off. It's magnetic, I think. There you go. Yeah.
Couldn't get a grip on it.
Cool. Okay. Did we all go to a juvenile place just now, or is that just me?
That was
I think
just
we've
you.
been
That was just me?
That
Cool.
was just you. Just
Cool.
doing like half
For
the
once,
chat.
yeah.
Half
Sorry,
the chat.
half the chat.
Only half? We're
Only
doing
half.
well.
Okay, so
Slow day. It's a slow day.
so yes, your impression is that this security door probably has Sarah Jane feeling confident when it shouldn't. Just as a mental note, because that would probably be something the doctor would notice as that door locks. And she turns to you and says, "What? What can I say that I haven't already said? Earth was in danger. We had an ally in one of the most dangerous beings in the universe. A deal was struck. Earth is still here.
And
I
you're
would call
sure
that a win."
he doesn't have anything to do with all the mysterious events no one can remember? That took a lot of important people to us.
No, I don't know that. I don't. That's beyond the purview. We've been without you for some time now.
You should probably know that door is basically useless.
Oh. She glances over at it, and you see sort of an anxiety begin to build inside of her. I don't suppose putting guards here would do much good either, would it?
Not as such. Might be a bit of warning, I guess, but
There were many when Davros first arrived who wanted to simply execute him, but I knew that's not what you would want.
it's true enough.
So what could we do? He fled here.
Just to check, the Davros of this universe, bit of a monster, right?
Well, he created the Daleks, so...
Yes, okay. Just checking.
Plus,
I can hear you through the door, you know.
there's like this... Sarah just kind of... She goes, didn't know he could do that either.
Did that just happen?
Sure.
Yes, I wouldn't have said the lock thing. All right, well, no takebacks.
If you want to, I'll tell you what,
Probably
Jason.
already knows.
If you want to spend a story
Probably
point,
already
I'll let you hear.
now
I'll
he
let
knows
you
she
have heard
knows.
everything, just because that's juicy. By the way, real quick, since we paused for a second, I want to give everyone back 3 story points.
Can I go over my max?
No, I'm not going to let the doctor go over the
Oh,
max.
how many do you get?
Humans
I
can
get
go up to
6.
10
You
or
only
12,
get
I believe.
6?
Oh, perfect.
Jason, you're
that-
maxed out on
that
story points. I
blows.
gave you your maximum.
the
So
doctor.
you're good. So you should be at
Yay.
10,
Yeah,
You
right?
guys have to save
Yeah.
me with story
Okay, cool.
stuff.
And you've got
good.
And
screwdriver
Ovocali
points.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So
12.
it's really
You're good
8.
too.
I'm
The
maxed out.
doctor. So real quick, just to let the audience
like me.
know, that's one of the balancing factors of Doctor Who. Humans and like in creatures of any race that aren't like Time Lords or have crazy powerful stats, they balance that by using the story point system, allowing humans to. That's why like companions and stuff can do incredible stuff and save Doctors' lives.
Yeah.
That whole thing. The Doctor gets a few less. I think you have 6. Is that right? 6 story points. But Amy also has stats that are ridiculous. What's your ingenuity?
We got them out of the book. It's not me.
Yeah, no, it's all you.
I am maxed out. Ingenuity 9. of
Ingenuity 9,
9.
yeah. Well, so to give you an idea, the human maximum is 6.
Wow.
Yes.
So the Doctor, yeah,
Did you
Also,
say?
oh,
Did you say the human?
the human maximum is 6.
Of story points?
No,
no,
of
ingenuity.
attributes.
Sorry, of ingenuity. Sorry, of
Yeah.
attributes.
Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 5. I believe it's 5.
5. Okay.
I think it's 5.
Okay.
Is it 6? I don't know. It's 5. Oh, I can look. Whatever.
I
But
think
it's the.
6.
I think it's 6
Because I'm maxed out on 6 for one of them.
because you've got a cybernetic arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even with a cyborg, I'm only human level still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very impressive though. Yeah.
Yes. So to give you context, yeah, it's 6 because Osgood has an ingenuity of 6, which means Osgood is about as intelligent as Stephen Hawking's and all the other great
Have we met an
minds.
Osgood here yet?
You haven't met Osgood yet, but then remember this would be in this timeline. This would be slightly before, at least so far as you know. Osgood might be a part of UNIT, but you haven't run into her. In this timeline, she might not be a high functioning member of UNIT just yet. In the Prime universe, she was Kate's right-hand girl. So, yeah. And I met her at Gallifrey 1. She is super nice. Just like all the Doctor Who cast members are all super nice. Okay, so back to the game.
oh, and I was going to say, I feel like Davros knows that door, that he can go through
Totally.
the door, and he's choosing to stay in there anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I just probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have
Yes.
let on
like
What a
told
nice
Sarah
guy.
in front of you because I like you thinking
Well-
that she might be fooled. It's
Right.
a whole layers on layers.
Well,
gotcha.
Also, I'm sorry I'm being such a jerk, but you're terrifying.
there's also the fact that even if it's easy to get in and out of, this place is the sanctuary protecting Davros, so
Yeah.
it makes sense
Yeah.
that you would stay in there.
He's gonna do his research.
It would be weird if we just cut to Davros like at Ralph's, just or like
I needed to
one
get
of-
out of Ralph.
Mangoes again.
Tesco.
Tesco. Ralph, Tesco.
Exterminate.
Costco,
Tesco.
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 Oh, I'm driving out of Tesco.
It'd be even weirder to see him at Ralph's.
Car
Me and
batteries at the
Davros
same
at
time.
Please make fan art of that.
Davros.
Davros
in
at
the
Tesco,
con-
just
in the
buying like
grocery
ramen
store.
noodles or something. Okay, so after Sarah kind of inches away from the door a little bit and just goes, "Oh my. Yes, your warnings are heeded, but again, our back was against the wall."
First things first, let's look at this mission.
Right. Perhaps we should move upstairs, or should we make him privy to our objective, since he's going to be a principal part of getting in and out?
What kind of part did you have in mind?
Well, the only thing that we have capable of countering Time Lord technology is everything that Davros has been able to present to us. So she just kind of says, if anyone is going to be able to help you manipulate these temporal, these vortex manipulators, it's going to be Davros.
Giving him access to the vortex manipulator. Right.
I mean, unless you can think of something else. I can't.
My companions are pretty handy.
Well, if there's an alternate option, Doctor, I will take it, absolutely. You know this is a last resort. If you can come up with something else, absolutely. I'll follow your lead on this.
Let's get the rest of us into a room and talk this over.
Right. You hear them leaving Davros. Steps down the hall. They're going to go confirm.
Okay.
Just keeping you up to date.
All right.
Cut to. We'll just do a movie cut. So none of you have heard the name. Actually, that may not be true, because Finn and Roko have been jumping galaxies for the past 11 years. There's a chance that you guys have heard of.
Do we need to roll? To
Yeah,
know
I would
which
say
we know?
roll this, and it's not going to be difficult. It's not like the name Davros is like
No.
a secret.
It was one of you who told me the Daleks were supposed to have been wiped out, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Rocco did, right?
that's right. You know what? I'm going to say don't even bother rolling.
Okay.
Don't even bother rolling, because you're aware that the Daleks lost the Time War. Everyone is, because it nearly ripped the universe in half. So everyone knows who Davros is.
Yeah.
And so Sarah Jane's kind of standing back a bit as the Doctor approaches the three of you.
So, Doctor, what's down there? What are they doing?
There's good news and terribly bad news. The good news is Sarah Jane has a bit of a secret weapon. The bad
that's
news is he's a genocidal maniac named Davros.
Doctor.
Did you just say Davros? Yes, a bit. Significant look at Sarah Jane.
Yeah. There's no... obviously, Cillian has no idea what's happening, but a name has just been dropped.
Some Greek guy, right?
Yeah. To further the context, even though you two are very familiar with who, obviously it's a legendary name feared throughout the universe as the creator of the most lethal race that has ever existed.
I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
You've got Davros in your basement. Are you insane? Do you know how many people he's killed?
Beyond counting, yes.
Apparently, he wants to help. I trust him about as far as I can throw him, though.
Whether his intentions are sincere or not, the truth of the matter is Davros has been the one thing that has kept the Time Lords from annihilating everything on Earth. It's, from what we can piece together, it's one of the things that has contributed to the quarantine of this planet.
As in quarantine instead of extermination, one might say.
Davros has hinted that the reason we're not all dead is because it's simply easier to keep him jailed here, so to speak. And so travel has been forbidden and no one comes to Earth anymore.
So his
Because of
status
him.
is the reason they haven't just destroyed the planet.
Well, that's what he believes. We, of course, are not privy to the information beyond our own atmosphere, so to speak.
So
Are you
we-
trying to say
Davros
that,
save the Earth!
are you trying to say that Lord President knows that he's here?
I can't confirm anything, but my belief is that the Time Lords probably do know that he's here.
So
And
essentially,
they haven't blown it up.
Not as of yet, no.
and basically what you're saying is we are keeping a genocidal maniac here based on the word of a genocidal maniac.
Sarah Jane kind of shrugs and she says, your logic is completely sound, but look at our alternatives. Davros arrives on Earth with the Time Lords breathing down our neck. What were our options, exactly?
Did he bring him here?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions that we have not been able to get out of him. And to be honest, I've tried to limit contact with him as much as possible.
That's
Doctor-
probably wise.
You know what he's capable of, Doctor, and we are quite aware that even my experiences with him when you and I once traveled together, I'm not even fully capable of understanding what he's fully capable of. And so we stay as far away from him as possible and monitor.
Sounds like. I mean, I don't like the sound of that at all. I mean,
She's like,
but how can you get at whatever information he has
That's
that
the
he's
big-
not telling you?
she nods and she says, you've found the problem. Even though we have an agreement, and that for whatever reasons, it seems his presence here has been a deterrent. The truth of the matter is, Doctor, the truth of the matter it is, Cillian, is that he has all the cards.
Where does he get his intel? Do you know?
No, he won't.
We don't even know that.
He's told us certain things, but we have no reason to trust anything that comes out of his mouth.
Right.
All we
so he's
know-
less your prisoner and we're more his.
Precisely. What we know for sure is that what he has provided us has in fact kept us safe from the TGs, as you've called them. She smiles. But
Wow.
it's all we've been able to do.
And that may well be sabotaged in itself.
So we're moving forward based off of what he says, and you don't know if we could be walking straight into death or if he's really trying to help us.
Well,
Is
here's
that
what
right?
this is what I do know. What I know for a fact is that for whatever lies he might be telling us, and the Doctor can attest to this, the one thing that the whole universe shares in common with Davros is they want to see him dead. That includes Gallifrey. So this is a classic the enemy of my enemy situation. But that's the only leverage we have, which means, Doctor,
We can't
whatever...
kill him and we can't trust him. But
Exactly. So whatever resources that we take from him to get into this TG base to uncover the information from the databases inside, obviously you can't turn your back on him. He'll be helping us, but I have a feeling, just based off of past experiences, it'll be a race to see who gets the information first.
Right, so that's the mission. We cannot trust him, but we might need him. What do you all think?
Well, I've really got nothing to add. I feel like I have to go with what these people say, Doctor. I have no idea what any of this means. Like usual,
Right.
I'm just along for the ride, mate.
How would getting this data from the database in any way prevent this stalemate from persisting?
Well, it would provide us with valuable intel that we are lacking. one of the reasons why Davros holds all the cards is because he knows everything. But clearly there are some things he doesn't know because he wants inside of that TG base as much as we do.
Does he?
Yes.
That's not.
That seems like a
particularly
very good reason
encouraging.
not to let him.
Yeah.
But if it's
But we
his
can't get in.
knowledge that we're after,
And that might help us get in.
Do you know someone who's good at mines?
although I'm told it's not the done thing.
His mind is probably a dangerous place.
So is letting him into that base, if that's what we have to do.
Absolutely not. I'm not letting you go inside that
Wait,
monster's head.
are you suggesting that you telepathically link with Davros?
Absolutely not. I won't let you.
Roko, I know you mean well, but I can't imagine a darker place to go.
I can't imagine a darker end than if he gets his way by holding all of these cards. You'll have to tell me later what that means, but it's better me than all of Earth losing a planet.
I think access to your mind via that link might be more of a dangerous weapon than...
I have nothing of value to offer. I'm just...
You have a lot to lose, though. That's a value to us.
Well, as in all things, I defer to you, Doctor, but I will do it if it will help.
Into the mind of Davros.
Okay.
Finn is like, nope.
Finn hasn't
We
anything
know.
to say about it.
We
Nope.
might be about to lose Roka Coco for the second
For a
time.
second time.
Yeah.
Ooh. So what do you, so Sarah looks at you and says,
Into the
Doctor,
mind of madness.
as always, I defer to you. In this case, I think it would have to be, I mean, Roko seems to think they can do it. I think it'll be your call. It will be dangerous, and you should be with them when they do
You
it, obviously.
absolutely cannot be entertaining this.
But think of what we could gain. If we could get the information from Davros without having to risk...
Do you have any idea how powerful this man's mind is? Rocco couldn't even get inside your mind. Are you insane?
How were you
You can't be
shielded?
entertaining this idea.
A
How have you shielded your mind?
few tricks that you've taught me over the years.
Oh, well done. I can probably assume Davros has a few tricks as well.
I'm
Well,
Sarah
well,
Jane,
well.
bitch. She just gets gangsta on you.
Let's see if I remember him using mental warfare, because I actually don't remember if this is like an established thing that Davros... Has anyone ever tried going in his mind?
There aren't a lot of psychics in the universe.
Yeah.
It's not the most
There's
common.
It's
a psychic
true.
trait, but
thing.
it doesn't come up that often.
I have a feeling we would have to dig deep into Who lore.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, and I wouldn't be surprised if at some point something like this has at least been hinted at, but I don't know that it's ever been tried, no.
I mean, that was really just with you, begging your pardon, but that was a casual examination. If we're going to do this, my sleeves have tricks too.
Sarah Jane kind of, she allows herself a moment and then she finally just says, if I had telepathy, I don't know if I would even exert your level of self-control, to be honest. Just being honest.
It's not always self-control so much as, look, people can be filthy.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that.
Don't look at me like that, Finn. You're just as filthy.
And imagine how much filthier his mind is going to be.
Yes, you tune into Davros and you find yourself standing in a virtual representation of 4chan.
If he sabotages this, if he endangers Earth, if he endangers everything, it would endanger you too. And I couldn't bear that.
And you expect me to just sit here and let you put yourself in danger? What do you think that does to me?
Please. There's a planet at stake, and you know what that means to me.
And you know what you mean to me.
I do. But don't we have to try?
You know I don't like it.
I wouldn't do this recreationally. But if it has to be done, if this... We can't trust him.
Absolutely not.
And if it's just one little overcall, weighted against an entire world, against the survival of the Doctor, the survival of the people I care most about, then I will go into that darkness. We have to know.
If I believe anything, I believe one little overcall can save us all.
Only if you're by my side.
I'll be right there.
Well, if we're doing this, we really better before I lose my nerve.
That was really intense.
The first sign of danger, you get out of there.
Perhaps the third sign. It's going to be dangerous right away.
I'll pull you out of there if I have to.
I know you will.
Right, let's do this mad plan before I just start punching things.
The game just took a turn I had not planned. My goodness. All right. Sarah Jane, she just... I have to say, you're very brave. We, of course, will provide any assistance we can. Actually, we might be able to help you. I'm going to need to give you all access to the Black Archive, however. And I don't want to separate you, so let's all stay together and follow me. We're going into the vaults. She heads towards the elevator. You see a few of the unit guys step forward and get into the elevator as well, and flank her left and right, and the door goes... The elevator travels for a bit. You can't tell down or up. And when it finally opens up again, you see a very sterile-looking hallway. It goes straight to I would say it's about 100 feet long. So you can only assume that this must be underground somewhere again. The other thing that's kind of creepy about this place is this hallway, as sterile as it's looking, it's all glossy and black. The floor, the ceiling, the walls. It looks like one of the levels of the Black Archive has been taken literally. It has that sort of Star Wars Imperial look to it, where everything is this glossy, like, kind of insidious but subtle, like, look to it. It looks like a hallway of black glass just going straight down. And as Sarah steps into this hallway, you see immediately her footsteps are being scanned as she walks in. And she turns to all of you and says, just proceed as normal. If you're with me, you will have access. She walks down about 20 or 30 feet. And as she walks, you see little data, I would say readouts appearing as she walks by that's giving a list of everything she's passing. And it's all... Yeah, you're seeing some pretty crazy things on here. A lot of things you've never heard or seen before. Nothing immediately stands out at least nothing you've encountered, Doctor. Probably just like from random adventures and random things that UNIT has uncovered, until finally she comes to a segment of the wall where she places her hand upon it, and you see it just seamlessly opens up, and you see it looks like this sort of velvet tray goes and steps out, kind of like just folds out in front of her, and it almost looks like the communication device that Bargle was using to communicate. and it looks like it looks like it might fit like somewhere on the head. And she pulls it and looks at it and says, "We've had this technology for some years, but we haven't used it because it doesn't work with human physiology. It might work with yours, though. This device is supposed to enhance psychic ability.
Exciting.
We actually don't have a name for it." She presses a button and you see the entry log for it is psychic thingy. And she just looks at it disdainfully and closes it down and she says, "But Roko, if you think this would help you."
Can we take a bit of a look at it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Looks like it would fashion, looks like it could clips on, it looks like it would fit comfortably on your scales near the back of your ear hole, so to speak. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a basic build where it looks like it curves up just underneath where it probably tries to triangulate certain portions of the brain. Whether it's going to work with your brain or not, you don't know.
Yeah.
She says, "I should tell you that we actually don't know the risk assessment of using this device, only what it does.
Where did you get this?
This was inherited. I actually didn't acquire this. This is from a few predecessors."
Doctor, perhaps you could help me take a look at it, because if we're going to try this, there are really enough risks without also frying my brain.
Absolutely.
Sonic this thing. I'm going to scan it.
Roll of technology?
Well, if you're just trying to get a look at it, then yeah, it'd be ingenuity technology. If you want to scan it with your Sonic, that'll yield a lot more information, and
Yep,
that would
okay.
probably be. That would also be an ingenuity technology check,
Okay.
but you'll get the bonus from the Sonic, which I believe is a +2 on top of your already +2. Yeah.
15,
So
15, 17.
yeah, go ahead.
Base 17 plus.
Why do I even bring that dice tower?
22.
22. You have never seen this kind of alien technology. It doesn't look like it's one of those, it doesn't look like it's insidious in any way. But this is from this kind of the moment you realize, oh, this is from a race I haven't encountered yet. Yes, it looks like a basic neural amplifier for psychic potential. Why they didn't just call it a neural amplifier kind of probably speaks to the fact that maybe they have that little information about what it does.
Yeah.
From everything you scan, it looks like it's safe. It looks like it's probably easily adjustable to whatever species uses it. Definitely above human technology level is what you get from it.
It's just a basic neural amplifier. I'm doing you now.
Yeah. It's all right. It doesn't really look like the designs that we had in the Sea of Forests, but sure, I suppose we could give it a try.
It seems adaptable enough.
All right.
All right, you slide that thing on. I need you to immediately make I'm going to say a awareness plus resolve check.
Okay.
The difficulty on this is going to be 15.
Crit. Yeah, plus 11.
So you rolled 2 TARDISes?
Correct.
All right. You slide it. As you slide it on, you have I love using show references so much, but as you slide it on, you have that moment in Buffy where she becomes psychic and all the thoughts just come flooding into her for a split second. You hear.
Silly and you're dirty too!
Oh, very much so, I'm afraid. Do not go any further.
Cillian's like, "Why do you think I drink? Like, I'm trying to get away too." Yeah.
I have seen some shit.
And now I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a brief moment where there's just too many images flooding in for a split second, but it's enough. It has that same. It almost not the physical effect rather of like somebody doing it, but it almost feels the way your brain might feel if someone put 2 foghorns next to your head and let them blow.
Yeah.
So there's a moment where you're just like, oh my God, like a wave of dizziness. And then when it sort of aligns, you feel, it's not just psychically, but you feel all around you, all of a sudden, the sheen of the black gloss on these walls is somehow more vibrant. You can see even more reflection coming out. You're more aware of the threads of cloth that the doctor has on her coat, and you can see there's a moment where you're looking at Cillian for a second, and you can see the fiber substance of his like facial hair. You're becoming more and more aware of everything around you. It's almost overload, but it's also one of those sort of moments where the world slows down for a second, and you're becoming everything. It's like a trip, basically. You're just kind of like, whoa, you're becoming aware of everything that is in front of you. You can hear breath. It's not, nothing is disconcerting. It's like all of a sudden you're instantly aware of all life that's taking place in this particular moment in time. And then your brain sort of adjusts and refocuses. You probably, just from the feelings you get tingling through your spine right now, this thing is awesome. Probably don't want to stay plugged into it for too long.
Certainly not.
But man, that nice, nice.
I can know things now.
You all right then?
Here's the crazy part. Rocco, when you hear them say, I can know things now, all of you have a moment where you hear you hear their voice in your head the moment they say that. For a split second, you realize you just projected yourself. And so there's this sort of echoing effect. And you're like, Sarah Jane puts her hands up and goes, could you not do that though?
Sorry. It's been a while.
And just verbally you heard that.
I'm better now.
So how did you do that?
Well, I'm very good at what I do.
Would it work if I put it on?
Did you not just listen to the thing that she said
No.
about it not working with human physiology?
Well, that's disappointing.
You're like, damn it, think of all the crazy shit I can do
All
with
the
that.
possibilities.
Oh my.
Sure, I want to know.
Going straight to the poker tables.
That's what I was actually
Yeah,
thinking.
I had a feeling. You just go like, hey, Davros, let's you and me hit up Vegas right now.
Also fan art.
Also fan art. I'm just picturing Davros at a slot machine. Just, damn it!
I'd be a sick...
Pineapples again!
Yeah, he'd be a sick wingman, right?
Yeah. The two of you at a bar. Just go talk to her, man. God. Anyway. Oh my God.
Would you like some liquid refreshment?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. This could go on forever. We need to write this into a sketch.
Well, perhaps we best get on with it then. This, lovely as it is, it might not feel quite so comfortable after a while. So, let's go.
There, as all of you begin to leave and head back down to the bottom of the Black Archives where Davros is, it's still weird, Rocco, because as you're walking down this corridor, you're actually also every now and then you're feeling psychic echoes from some of the items in the archive. It's almost like what is that? Psychometry, where you can touch things and get the psychic impressions from them. You're kind of doing that inadvertently without touching it, and not all of it's good. Like, there are weapons down here, lethal weapons that have probably ended the lives of a lot of creatures over time. There's also whispers, and you hear voices. Some of them are children. Some of them. I'm sorry. I laughed because I just immediately in my head I heard, "Are you my mommy?"
We all did.
We all did. So yeah, it's a little, as you're walking, Finn, you can see Rocco begins to sort of like almost wobble a little bit, like they're a little overwhelmed.
I scoop them up.
Finn to the rescue.
Steady there.
Into the elevator again, down an impossible length into the depths of the Black Archives. You come to that black hallway, which I described before, which, despite the futuristic look of this hallway from one of the levels that you were in, this portion of the Black Archive apparently looks very archaic. It looks very... This is probably one of the older, less updated versions of the vault down below. Doctor, it just doesn't surprise you. It seems like the archive itself has levels that you still aren't aware of. You knew that it's been up in the tower. There are levels of the archive that exist outside of the underground portions. None of this is really surprising you. As you are all approaching Roko, as y'all are moving closer to the door, man, with the movie references, my brain just can't shut up. Like I'm picturing Spaceballs as you guys are walking upon Yogurt's statue. As you guys are like, as you're approaching these huge double doors, there's almost this like slow motion walk. You feel the menace behind you. You are aware that the being on the other side of these double doors that you're approaching is a creature of pure malice and self-loathing and a terrible intelligence. Horrifying creature. Whatever you're about to walk into, when you were referring to it as the darkness, you obviously didn't realize how dark. And as you approach the door, Sarah Jane, she puts her hands on it and she stops for a minute and she says, Roko, you can still change your mind.
Oh, certainly I could, but I shan't.
Do you have to go inside? Can't you just do it from out here?
It would probably work better if I'm a little more
You're
nearby.
hearing all of this, yeah.
I need to be in sight in order for my powers to work.
As y'all are talking, suddenly Sarah flinches because she hasn't put her hand on the door yet, and the door goes and just begins to open on its own accord with Davros. And you see Davros in all his Davrovian glory sitting there in his chair with...
My mind is impenetrable. It is a fortress. You shall not enter.
So I was told I would need to get permission before doing these things. Is that a no?
It most certainly is a no.
I did not enter.
Would you perhaps reconsider?
There are things in here that no living being should ever experience. Believe me, I'm doing it for your own good.
I have no desire to experience them. I'm not doing this to sate my curiosity, but this is what we need to do in order to accomplish what appears to be a common goal.
Do you want my help or not? My conditions are that you do not enter my mind. I am certainly content to stay here and study.
Why do you want to get into the TG facility?
I have my reasons.
And we need them.
She went the reveal?
Yeah.
Okay, so inside the TG facility, there are answers to the same dilemma that they're looking for as well. It's also there's a couple of reasons why this would benefit you greatly. Aside from the fact that you would also probably get an answer to why there are certain pieces of history that have been muted and missing, specifically why you can't remember how certain things
Time
came to...
Lord,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's also the fact that this is an incredibly unique opportunity to get your hands on Time Lord technology, because you know there is a lot in there. And while Dalek technology is pretty much just... Dalek technology is technology level 9 and Time Lord is 10, so there's just enough juiciness in there. Plus, it would be horrifying if they ever got the upper hand on information. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, you're just as aware about your status. Yeah, there's a lot of information that you could. There's a lot of, and I'll let you, Jason, being since you are very, very well versed in Who, just think of what Davros could do.
Sure.
Because there's no tech
But
on
do I want
Earth.
to tell them?
Yeah,
Hell no.
hell no. But there is no tech on Earth that you could use that would get you anything that you need down here. Do you know what I mean? Like the technology level. If you could get access to the rest of the Black Archives, then maybe this wouldn't be a problem. But right now, this is a good. Yeah, this is keen on your interests.
There are gaps in my memory. Things, answers, questions that need answering. To get inside that facility would help me better understand what happened.
You don't know either. You don't know either. A lot of...
There are fragments, pieces unraveling, but not connecting. As a seeker of knowledge, Doctor, I'm sure you can sympathize with me.
It's not at all disturbing. Right.
I appeal to your compassion, Doctor.
Oh, tell me about compassion.
I'm not reading any.
I do not have the ability to experience compassion, but I know that you do, Doctor. I have made many mistakes. Yes, I have regrets. But to better understand what happened is the number one thing that I would like to know before I die.
When you glance back at Sarah Jane, she's not looking at him, she's looking at you, and you can see in Sarah this. Your read on her is that if someone came in here and shot Davros in the head right now, she would light a cigarette. Like nothing in what he is saying, but she's also kind of giving you this knowing look because there have been numerous enemies over the years who have appealed to your compassion, and it has worked. And it's what makes you the Doctor. So she's kind of looking at you in that same way that she wants to say, don't trust him, don't do it. But obviously that wouldn't get you anywhere. So she's just kind of giving you this critical glance and saying nothing.
Give my friend some proof of your sincerity. Let them in a little.
Would I be able to do that?
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could. I would say with Davros's intellect is outrageous. Like it's an it's Doctor Doom level, like crazy intellectual. I would say that you absolutely would have the mental fortitude to unlock certain doors if you wanted to. Okay. And your encounters, if we could just say for story purposes that your encounters with any psychic energy, the Daleks haven't had much use for it. Psychic energy is mostly, why use psychic energy when you can kill the thing and then download its entire consciousness into a database? But with you,
Why don't we just do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bam. Son of a bitch.
Oh, see you later, guys.
All right. Thanks, Jason Charles Miller.
No, because then if we download you, you just become like a Davros virus.
Davros in the machine.
The Davros virus. Oh my gosh, we're writing a new Doctor Who episode right now.
Yeah.
The Davros
You know how
virus.
many times Davros has died?
I know, dude.
He's got backup systems everywhere.
Didn't
Don't worry
Davros stay
about it.
baried underneath like rubble for like God knows how long until number 4 discovered him or something like that?
Yeah,
and then,
and I think even I think the Doctor actually killed him the first time he ever
I think so too,
encountered
yeah.
him. And then he was like, I had a backup system. And like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
oh, damn.
That's just it forever for Davros. There's always a flash drive somewhere with another Davros on it.
Doctor Who, man. Pure whimsy. That's the way it works.
And Bender, basically
Very whimsical.
the same
Yeah.
guy.
And fun.
And Bender?
Yeah.
So yeah, you think you could do that? Yeah.
Okay.
You could act.
Okay, then he would say something like,
Fine, enter my mind and see that my desires are true.
can you do anything without being creepy? Because that was...
That's a good point, Cillian. You're looking at a creature right now.
He's pretty creepy.
It's that's a good
Right.
point. I'm kind of I should have actually mentioned that when you guys, especially Finn and Roko, you've heard stories about Davros. This would be like this is totally on par with like if you grew up in some backwater planet in Star Wars and then one day you found yourself standing in front of Darth Vader kind of thing, where you've heard all of these stories about Davros and now you're standing in front of a living legend, a genocidal like madman. And Cillian certainly looks exactly the way everyone has described who he is as a person. Kind of personifies that horrifying, demented, disgusting, what the hell is that?
He's like an even more shriveled Palpatine-looking guy, you know?
Totally.
Extra
If the
eye.
Emperor's chair could move with him and he only had like
Yeah.
a torso and he was connected
That's what
cybernetically.
I'm thinking of as a, you know,
Yeah, he doesn't look natural at all.
no.
So, yeah.
Is he on your DM screen?
What's that?
Is he on
your
DM
DM?
screen?
No, but
Have you seen him?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all
oh yeah, no,
As a
yeah.
person.
Duncan grew up with who?
Duncan.
Yeah.
But Cillian hasn't.
Yeah, got it.
Cillian knows nothing.
So yeah, Cillian's never
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
this
imagine
nasty ass.
really, like the first time you ever saw Davros, like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially because in the game, his character stats actually give him a fear rating. Because he's so horrifying to behold.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. We're very afraid.
Yeah, he's got that sort of fear effect just from being around him. And it's kind of exuding that naturally.
If you want
Finn, don't you remember the days where like the scariest thing was
Well,
the
the freaking
Abigail?
pirate.
It was just the Abigail
Oi.
and fighting on a beach, like and
Yeah,
on the
you know,
deck.
with that alien purple-blooded
Thing
pirate.
that you totally-
scary thing.
Those were good
Nothing
days.
compared to this.
Those were good days.
Such easy breezy days. The
All-
ocean air. The smell of grog.
Yep,
And then this.
a big, tall, handsome first mate. So
That's handsome. Since when?
you're like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so if you wanted to,
Oh, wait. All right. Grab you by the shoulders.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are
Right.
you sure you want to do this?
Breathe.
Really not sure at all, but I have to protect the people I love. And as I say that, because I have my little amp, you feel the like a psychic hair ruffle, and the words, "I don't blame you for before." And Doctor feels a lot of anxiety,
Already
but a
feeling that.
lot of resolve, and Finn just feels this deep well of love
And as
down to their roots.
And as I do, I just whisper, "You better come back as yourself. That's an order from your captain."
And Roko curls into you, and some of the vines on their body sort of wrap a little bit, and some of the little blossoms just bloom a little closer. Okay, time to go. Let's do this.
and you turn, and that warmth that you were feeling from Finn, that compassion, that love, as you turn and look at Davros, it's it would be, the effect would be no less jarring if you woke up from this really super comfy bed and rolled over onto cold concrete that's been iced over. The moment you look into Davros's eyes that are closed, you just see that endless blue, that cold ice blue of that third eye slowly start to split open. And Doctor, you've seen that glow so many times at the end of a Dalek's eye stalk. You, Davros, see this creature. You've encountered this species before. They die just as easily as every species in the universe. You were vaguely aware of their psychic potential. As you're looking at them, you immediately, just instinctively, your brain begins to process and scan the anatomy and get out all the physiological weak points. and all the genetic imperfections that kind of disgust you. They're decidedly not Dalek. And as you're making this observation, all of a sudden, your world begins to tunnel in. And Roko, your world, it just becomes darker and darker and darker and darker. And you find yourself standing in a black room. And this chill, this cold, begins to blow over you. And as you slowly begin to open your eyes, you are standing in rubble. All around you, broken pieces of concrete and bricks. It looks like shards of buildings. It looks kind of Earth-like, maybe urban, but different. Something here is very different. As you're kind of blinking, you're hearing like distant screams. And as you glance up, you see these huge golden spires reaching towards the sky. And you instantly realize you're on Gallifrey. You see these massive golden towers with these rings circling around it, these spherical shapes. And you see bodies in various states, horrific disrepair all around you, body parts. And you are in the Time War. You're standing in this spot of rubble, and you're just looking at dead men, women, children everywhere. Like the two of you, as you're watching Roko just kind of go into the state, you see they just kind of immediately, not surprisingly, almost like cringe. And as you're kind of taking in all the horror and madness, your field of vision turns, and standing next to you is a very handsome scientist. Looks humanoid with parted hair. This is you as you were some hundreds, thousands of years ago, before the Daleks annihilated your race and the enemy race. Before you created them, you are as you used to be. In all intents and purposes, looks completely human. But you are immediately aware that cold malice, and you and Roko are standing side by side inside your psyche. You are aware that if he is capable of feeling joy, what you're standing in right now is one of his happy places. You're seeing fire in the distance, and you are hearing over and over again off in the distance, "Exterminate! Exterminate!" And the sounds of gunfire. This, Davros, was the first invasion of the Daleks. One of the great victories you had when one of the Time Lord cities was annihilated. Not the end of the Time War that didn't end so well for your race in this reality, but the beginning where the Time Lords learned their mistake for screwing with your race, basically. And that is where you all stand right now.
Wow.
In a total war zone.
Welcome to my safe space.
It's so messed up.
Why did we do this? Why did we do this to ourselves?
Yeah. The unimaginable horrors of war surrounding you.
I've seen better psychic interior decorating choices. Perhaps we best get on with this then.
Very well.
There's a broken, it looks like what's the remains of a building, like the skeletal remains of a building. Again, it's very interesting. The Time Lords, for all of their incredible technology, it looks like as a civilization, a lot of them have chosen to live simply. And very, like, once you reach the height of technology, at one point it becomes boring. So a lot of these buildings, actually you could have mistaken this for present day Earth, the way some of these buildings are constructed. You see a simple wooden door, and it's sideways. It looks like it's part of a building that's been bombed out. And so it's like this structure with a door on the inside. It's kind of tilted sideways. But through that doorway, which on the other side looks like nothing, but through that doorway, you see it's an entrance deeper into his psyche, to where you need to go.
Shall we?
Proceed.
You approach that door and put your hands on the knob, and as that cold again as you're pulling it open, as the door opens again, just and you all, as you're watching Roko, again a cringing effect, and for a split second it looks like they stop breathing for a moment. Like Finn, you see they just go.
I look straight at Davros.
Davros, you don't know
I don't
what
care.
state Davros is in.
I don't know what I'm looking at,
Yeah.
but I'm looking at that thing, and I squeeze them tighter, and I yell at him.
So, what happens in this dark place that you enter? You step deeper, you're hearing screams and shouts. You hear a familiar voice, like one you heard from the projection inside the TARDIS, going, "Give me your hand!" And then you are suddenly standing in what looks like an empty field. Like maybe a minefield, from what you can tell. There are body parts and like spots everywhere, and there's this reality looks a little different, but as you arrive here, you start to feel yourself slipping away for a split second. It's not just what you're seeing in this empty field, it's the feeling you get. When Davros said he was incapable of feeling compassion, that's what almost breaks you. Because as you get here, buried underneath all of this horror and malice, you connect into a place where there is still an echo of the man Davros used to be. And you feel this this wave of hatred for himself, this regret, this anger, this injustice. It's almost like deep inside he's in a constant throat bleeding scream that no one can hear. And Davros, as you all arrive in this particular part, you feel it too. This is a place you don't want to go. This is that field where you first encountered the Doctor as a young boy. And as you are standing here again, as you're kind of feeling this overtake you, you're watching Davros, who was a handsome man. You seeing like the place that he's at, it's starting to kind of contort him back into the Davros that you just left. And Davros, you're kind of looking at your hands. One of them begins to disappear, like disintegrate in front of you, while the other one begins to curl in on itself. It's overwhelming. For a split second, you're not sure where Davros ends and you begin. And that's when you begin to feel yourself beginning to cave, when suddenly you feel a very familiar pressure on your shoulders. And it feels like the ground just hardens underneath your feet and you stop sinking for a second. And you all watch miraculously as Finn grabs Roko and she goes, and suddenly you stabilize.
Have you seen enough?
There are landscapes in the sky, like they're upside down. We're totally going Inception here. Landscapes in the sky. You see this barren wasteland where you see body parts. And shockingly, about 100 yards away, you see a man in black. He's wearing a black coat with gray hair, and he's doing this towards you and Davros, and behind him is the TARDIS. And he's saying, "Give me your hand."
Eric, sorry, but that was fucking brilliant.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome to go inside later.
Yes, do you want to do this? It's all yours.
Come on, let's go. We need to see what I need to see so that we can trust you to do this.
Very well.
So, Davros, you need to tell me what you want her to see.
Them.
Unless you want to force yourself. This is gonna be you two playing here, like what y'all want to do.
I want her to see the fact that
Them.
Um,
Them.
Oh, them. Roko is
Yeah.
them.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I said her, didn't I?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
them.
But it's
Them. Yeah, you're good. It's just them.
Singular.
Yeah.
oh, you're okay.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it. Got it. All right.
No, you're fine.
Oh, never mind.
You're totally
Didn't know.
fine.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what do I
I
say?
want them to see the fact that Davros really does want to discover these missing pieces in
Okay.
his memory of what happened in the Time War, and that is his overall intention. But that's all I want her to see.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Whatever, or him
so-
to see.
As Davros says, very well. Again, you see that blackness begin to bleed away. It's like you're trying to flip through and find. It's like you're trying to crack open a book and find the right page. Immediately, you find yourself you see the man that must be the doctor going, "Give me your hand," and then all of a sudden he begins to go. You see his like skin sinks in and flesh begins to melt off of his bone, and he starts to scream. The TARDIS just begins to disintegrate, and all of a sudden the doctor becomes a corpse on that battlefield again. He just drops into a collection of bones, and once again you're on this battlefield where you see Daleks being exterminated by Time Lords. You see some of them are calling out for mercy as Time Lords. Some of them with just like scars on their face, blasting Daleks as they're on the ground. And you feel this sense of terror, like as you're looking around and watching this battle happen. Davros, you are reliving the final moments of the Time War where the Daleks were being basically driven to extinction. By this point, the battle's been lost, but right now it's total genocide, being hunted down, Dalek by Dalek, being systematically annihilated. And for a split second, you feel this presence behind you, Roko, and you feel it as well. And Davros, one of the few times in your existence where you felt that hatred and terror combine, and the two of you standing next to each other, Davros still sort of in this twisted state of being half man, half Davros. The two of you turn and you see standing above all of these Time Lords is the Lord President of Gallifrey, in full regalia, with the shoulder harness and the great like ceremonial shoulder piece going up. Face is completely blurred, like it was a memory that's been pulled. Yeah, like it's a memory that's been pulled. It's like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where there's just no face. You can't see it, but you know it's there. And you can't tell if it's male or female or any. You can't get any kind of detail to try to lock down what they are. But they're standing there with temporal guards surrounding them. And then the memory begins to blur, almost like the world begins to fall away. Like you see the horizon begin to crack. You've reached the edge of what Davros can remember of the time. That's what's becoming more apparent to you than ever right now, is that you've reached an edge of a memory that Davros should have connected to the Daleks, and the memory stops here. And it sort of reaches that same vagueness that everyone else has been encountering every time they try to remember something. And you begin to see everyone's face begins to blur. And time begins to slow down, and its noise level begins to dampen until finally it just becomes almost like a grayscale memory that freezes. Like it stopped loading, and then everything stops. And you two are frozen in this moment where all memory has ceased for you. This is as far as your memory has taken you. You have no idea what the conclusion of the final moments of the Time War were.
This is why I need to get inside. I need to know what happened for myself.
It won't change anything, you know.
Perhaps it will answer some questions. If knowledge is all I have left, then at least it will give me that.
Is there any stab I could take at trying to zoom and enhance?
What were you thinking? Like trying to find something specific?
To see if I can better understand the nature of the block or try to.
Yes, I think that would be probably
maybe craft it.
I'm guessing that would be. I'm going to say that's an awareness resolve.
Yeah.
Are you going to try to resist anything?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm
do I feel that
resisting with
first?
every moment.
Do I see the
of my-
Do I feel the resistance first?
So what's going to happen is what you're going to do is when you try to dig a little further, you're instantly going to feel the psyche of Davros basically putting up a hand and going, nope.
It would save you a lot of trouble if you let me try first. And let's be honest, you consider me disposable. I could help you.
Okay, how about this? Why? Let's have Davros try to make it look like he's opening it up,
You could do that.
but not.
You wanna
really.
give her a false
Like
one? A
Open,
false-
Yeah, false.
Yeah.
A false door.
You could totally do that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
villain.
Well, and we
No.
can see whether I
Yes.
see through that.
You could totally do it. This is going to be a contested roll.
Yep.
I'm sure
Right,
you guys are
yeah.
going to want to drop story points
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
to enhance your rolls. But yes, Davros, you could totally create a nightmare for her. This door swings both ways. It's one of the things that's so risky about psychically entering a mind. With this bridge open, there's no reason in the world why let's just I know this is typically where Mercer would get up and go across the table and start whispering into somebody's ear, but just to keep it fun for everybody, I would tell you that one of the things that you're becoming aware as this psychic connection continues to go forward is the door swings both ways. And that while she's visiting your mind, it's entirely possible for you to do the same to her, so long as the connection is there. It's possible.
I do feel like, and no offense, that Davros wouldn't care.
Right?
Because
Yeah, I'm a
I
little
think
puny.
he feels like they're insignificant to him. If it was the doctor, he would try to do it, but I think he wants to center all of his energy simply on
Okay.
creating this false wall to make it seem as if he's revealed his true intention, but hide it at the same
Okay,
time.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And also, not to imply that whispering in the ear isn't fun. It's just that Matt isn't loved up when he doesn't have a mic on his on his shirt when he whispers into
Jack
everybody's
can hear
ears.
The whisper.
Well, Jack
Fine.
can hear the whisper.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be
What's that?
I wish I
Yeah,
could hear the
that's
whisper
good.
sometimes.
Do you get what I mean? Like Davros's ego
Yeah.
is so big that like he would
Oh, yeah.
save that.
Rocco
to
doesn't
not-
matter. Rocco doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I get that. But
Remember that creepy moment in Star Trek where Data just goes, "You will make an excellent drone." I don't know. This came to mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Doctor Who. All right.
It's
a creepy moment. I love that moment. All right, so this is going to be a contested roll here. Let us refer to the rules as we get psychicky waikiki.
I am curious. The doctor in his built sheet in here, her build sheet, has the psychic trait, and I've regarded that as mostly like probably a defensive thing because it gives me a defensive bolster, and I don't really run around reading
Yeah.
things. But is there a way for me to sort of shore Rocco up?
get some party assist.
Not that I'd necessarily be in there with you, just because I haven't been playing it like the doctor's not.
If you spend a story point, I'll answer your question.
Okay.
How for the viewers at home and the new player like me, how
Yeah.
many story points can you spend on one?
You could blow 'em all.
Instance?
If you really wanted to. If you wanted to have a bad wolf moment and just change the whole freaking game and deliver so long as I clear it and it doesn't break the story, you could drop like 10 story points. Of which, by the way, I want to give, everyone's going to get back, everyone over here get back 1 story point. Gina and Sam get back 3 story points.
If I'm maxed out at 12, though, I can't, right?
Then you're good, yeah.
Okay.
You're maxed at
I-
12.
but from an emotional standpoint, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, here's the other thing. Story points also functions as experience points in this game.
Oh, so if I max out on story points, do I put
So what I'll
them
let you
in
do,
skills?
Yeah.
I haven't read into the experience point gain in this book because obviously our game isn't really that much
Yeah.
about leveling up so much.
Yeah.
But if you want to, I'll let you store those 3 story points specifically for character improvement.
Cool.
If you want to write that down in your character sheet.
Sure.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why story points are just so valuable, why spending them is a big deal, but it's also kind of got that, it comes with a price.
Yeah.
Because the more you spend, the less you have. But we haven't reached the end of our first arc here yet, so you haven't had a chance to spend them. But everyone's been doing just fucking great role playing. So, psychics, talk amongst yourselves.
Can I bank the 1 extra point?
What's that?
Can I bank the 1 extra point?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd like to spend as many as I need to block, but I don't want to blow them all.
Seriously? Okay. How many are you gonna spend?
Wait, I declare first.
This is like The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
$1.
So we'll do this.
No,
Oh,
We're gonna do this.
we could do.
I'm getting in.
We could.
Okay.
Would they?
I want this to be sort of like I want this to be sort of like a bidding thing, a secret bidding thing. So give me a second because I'm gonna set this up.
That's a good
Let's
Do
idea.
like
see.
Facebook Messenger or something. Just text your.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
So yeah, you guys have my messenger. So why don't you message me real quick how many story points you would like to spend? And this is for plot altering. There's no bonus to the roll here. This is to alter the plot of what's happening. So go ahead and burn those
Is it,
points.
though?
Rocco runs out of.
In this case,
story
yes,
points, we can
because
lend them.
Yes. How many are we allowed to lend?
because here's the if you guys want,
Like
you
midnight
guys can
doing
make it a
20
straight
per
roll.
action, but like,
We don't have to do it this way. You guys can just say, I'm going to burn a story point to add 2 dice to the roll to resist and to succeed.
Oh, that was already, yeah.
But the reason why we're going here is because Jason announced that he wanted to burn a lot of story points.
Yeah.
So then I
And
was going
I
to.
also would.
So then I was going to give her.
Yeah, no,
I was going to
no,
give.
I'm
I'm
cool
sorry.
with
I
that.
was going to give
I'm cool with
Rocco.
that.
I was going to give them the option of burning story
doing
points.
the
So now I'm just
bad
going to make it a bidding
Gotta
war.
be a badass.
So now I'm just going to make it a bidding war to find out
That's what I thought.
how much
Man,
plot power you guys want
We're
to
all
use
on
here.
the same page.
I think, yeah, I think we go for that because I think this is where Rocco does
Yeah.
the thing. I think it's worth it.
Okay. So go ahead and
Yeah.
message me.
Yeah.
Technology.
Come at me, Davros.
Brought to you by Incom, creator of the Grid.
come at me, Davros.
Come at me,
Quote of the
Davros.
day.
Okay. Yeah. This is so. Okay. Let's see here.
Hey, you guys, I'm tense.
Waiting. It's coming.
I'm roll tense.
It's coming.
Okay.
All right.
Did you get mine?
Wait.
Not yet.
Hey, just,
I'm gonna do something.
Okay, let me get there. Okay, here we go.
But my thing might change there.
Oh, holy shit.
yeah. I don't know to whom you said that, but yeah. Either way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I figured we had to do this later, but I could be wrong. What do you think?
I figured that would have
All
to
right.
be before.
Do you have a thing before this resolves?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the difference between these two things really fast.
Okay, what do you. So just to get you to understand, 10 story points was on the level of Rose absorbing the heart of the TARDIS. To give you an idea.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I read the thing
All right,
earlier today.
cool.
Because I thought this might happen.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let me. I want to hear what you were, because I'm about to give them their results. So what
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah,
So tell me
please.
what were you gonna do?
Help.
I'm. Okay.
You're a delightful player, but a very scary
Yeah,
character.
yeah. I'm holding on to him, and I'm going to just slightly whisper in Rocco's ear, I know you're scared, but just hang on and listen to my voice. You've got this. I know you can go deeper. I know you can come out of the darkness in the end, all right? Just listen to my voice. I am the light. When you need it, come to it. And I give him a kiss on the cheek, and donate 4 story points.
Okay.
Dang it.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
You see the neural transmitter on Roko's,
kill
the
me
base of
for that.
Roko's
Yeah.
skull.
No.
You
was
see it
rubbish.
begin to pulsate. Just,
Yes.
Davros, you begin to construct this alternate reality for Roko to step in. And as you feel this sort of calm sink over Davros, as you begin to build this sort of, in your mind, you're beginning to picture exactly where you want to lead them. And as you're finishing, as the words are finishing coming out of your mouth, you realize you're alone.
Okay.
Completely alone. And then suddenly, you're standing in front of the doctor. There he is. Hat, scarf, trench coat, that big, arrogant smile on his face from the first time you remember he killed you. Or did he? And he just says, well, hello again, Davros. And gives you that big smile. And then you see the walls around you, they just explode up out of the ground and wall off into this, forming into a ceiling. And you find yourself suddenly looking around, Davros. It's not just him. You glance to your left, your right. Every regeneration of the doctor is circled around you right now. As you find yourself basically standing in your worst nightmare. And you become aware that whatever Roko just did, she basically took your conscious psyche and sealed it into a place where you have no power at all. You were completely surrounded from 1 through 11 of the doctors, and Amy being the 11th. And they're all just saying, hello, Davros, over and over, all of these accents, these voices coming over you, and you are completely boarded in. So Roko burned 12 story points, plus the 4 that Finn threw out there. Now we go. You plunge into the psyche of Davros, completely unadulterated. You just dive straight into his mind.
Begging your pardon, be right back for you.
You have full access.
Yeah.
You go crashing through, and you find yourself. When you arrive, when you find yourself standing on this, like it looks like a rocky face, like the face like a cliff, sort of a jagged cliff, just sort of sticking out from a rock face, overlooking a storm, and this morphic cloud, and in the distance, as you arrive here, you begin to feel that this is sort of like a nexus point, except for you begin to realize that these clouds, these rolling clouds that seem to have flashing lightning in them, you know, not from sight, but just by looking at them, those aren't clouds at all. Those are so, that is a swarm of Daleks so thick, so unbelievably infinite, that it looks like a nebula of just like a cloud of nebula. It's all around him.
Yeah, like when the arrows fill the sky.
Exactly. But there's so many, and it's so dense. And there's so many eyes on you right now, but you have complete access. The landscape of Davros' psyche is completely at your command.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Well, I suppose this is my house now.
You can feel Roko
Everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Turned on her.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to know whether I can see any of the things that were blocked, and in particular the Lord President's face, like
Okay.
unblock those memories,
So
if at all possible, with that.
Yes. A quick concentration, and you see the landscape just go like it just comes flying at you, and you're on the battlefield again. You're right next to the Lord President. You're right next to the extermination of the Daleks. Everything is just as you left it. And as you look up again, blur. Nothing. In other words, this is a moment in Davros' life that Davros saw, and still the memory is not here.
Okay.
You're not getting, it doesn't feel like, and Davros, as you're kind of experiencing, Roko experiencing this,
Right.
because you can feel it happening. But all the doctors stop smiling at you for a second, and it's like they part and look, and you see the landscape down below where Roko is standing. It's almost like it just opens up, and Roko is there, just standing there. Again, and this is where for the first time ever, you're discovering there is no memory there, but you were there. So what you are beginning to realize, Roko, is that it's not that the memory has been extracted. It's a contradictory, the memory is there, not there. It happened, it didn't happen. You don't know how to make sense of that. But you feel like something outside of psychic or a psychic power or mental power, like there's no mental block here. It's like the threshold of Davros' experience did not happen, yet you're standing in evidence that it did. It's a complete contradiction.
Yeah. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So I need to move over to Earth business.
Okay.
And try to understand the history and the motivations and the intentions beyond the obvious.
Okay.
Why they're not escaping, as much as I can know about present relevant circumstances.
Okay. As you turn, you look up, and it's almost like a window in the middle of nowhere, not connected to anything. You see all of your regenerations, and Davros in Davros' chair looking down at you, helpless. The hatred wafting off of this creature. You guys, Davros, you all are watching. In real life, as you're outside of this whole psychic experience, you're watching Davros kind of like, Doctor, you've seen this before. That
It gets even more brazen-y.
yeah, and you see this just fine razor focus on Roko's face, and that neural link is pulsating. And Sarah Jane's watching very nervously, and just looks at you and says, "I don't know how much longer we should keep this going."
Can I use either my psychic trait or my technology ability to sort of evaluate that?
I would say use your psychic trait, and I'm
Okay.
going to say make a awareness. Let's make it an awareness ingenuity roll, and
Okay.
I'll have you have your psychic bonus to it, which is +2, I believe. Yeah, is it a +2? Or is
I
it
just
a
wrote down the
psychic?
resist bonus because I'm
Okay, cool. So
sorry.
then we'll just say the skill unlocks your ability to do this. But go ahead and make the awareness ingenuity check. Down the rabbit hole.
I didn't think Davros was going to join the Replicate fan club.
Yes, you see in a memory, Davros is just like canceling my membership right now.
18.
What's it?
18.
Dear customer service.
So you're not. So this is what you're detecting, because as a doctor, you're impressionable from psychic energies. It's sort of like an empathic thing going on.
Yeah.
Roko is. They are in total razor focus right now. The agony you're detecting, the vulnerability, and the pain is coming from Davros. What Roko is doing might actually be harming Davros' psyche.
That's my roll call.
Yeah, Finn, with Finn's gray moral ethical, you're like, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna look funny when he gets out. When he gets out of that, let's see how he talks when he's done then. So, yeah, whatever Roko's doing, they've gone deep. Jason, I'm gonna let you do a resistance roll here again in a minute, but with that many story points, Roko's kind of
My house.
surfing. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I saved one.
but you know what I will say. I'm gonna do the whisper thing.
What's happening?
What's that? Yeah, mute me just for 1 second. Sorry,
mute me
sorry,
too, I
chat.
guess. Mute
Sorry,
me as
chat.
well.
Yeah, mute us. Sorry, chat. Tell me when. All right, cool.
Today's episode brought to you by Finn's Cybernetic Emporium.
Oh, this is so exciting.
cybernetic
Wait,
emporium. Armed
What?
and dangerous.
What? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Denise, we're good.
Do I need to announce that or?
No,
since you
no, no,
know?
no.
Okay, cool.
I just want to. Do you want to do that?
Absolutely.
Because that was one thing that, because you spent 8 story points, so there should be something that comes out of that instead of just throwing him to a hole. So I just want to let you know.
I mean, he is Davros, but
Yeah.
although, so you know, you could just thwart him.
Okay. No. We're gonna throw with. I'm sorry. With that many story points, burned, 12 story points is like what the doctor did to save Gallifrey, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Haven't we
I'm
got
just
16?
a little overcall, and this is my saving Gallifrey.
Yeah.
Okay, so, oh my God, I cannot believe this. Okay, this is okay. So I'm sorry, Roko. What were you trying to do?
I want the game plan.
Okay, this is the game plan. You turn. You feel as you're standing here. You feel. You kind of like it's like fishing almost. You're looking for that sort of. You remembered what excited Davros when you first arrived, so you're looking for what would excite Davros now. Like, what's the ambition here? And it doesn't with that role as this. It doesn't take much for you to find it. You turn and look to your left, and you see you're standing outside the TG's building, and you're watching all of these people. But it's a memory of something somebody saw on television, so to speak. So it's there, but not there. And you find yourself. Did we get more food? We got ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. What?
These have nuts, Eric.
Yeah, I can't eat them. That's fine. No.
You scream, we all scream around Davros.
Everybody can have that. That's fine because I tried eating a sandwich last time I was storytelling and it was just a total disaster.
Oh,
It doesn't
I
work.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, you annihilated
Next time.
it. Snack time.
Are they all the same?
No,
Some
they're
are
all, a
clear?
lot of them are different.
But they're all drumsticks, though.
Thank you, Denise.
Yeah, but they have different drumstick flavors.
Some have caramel, some
Caramel,
have
vanilla.
chocolate inside.
You want caramel?
I'm probably gonna wait till after.
So when you
Okay.
find that point
I'm
of
in
joy,
the cold already.
when you find that
I'm
point of
totally
joy
gonna
in
eat this
Davros,
now.
you see
Because
Davros
it's
eating
gonna
ice
melt.
cream. Davros is just eating an ice cream cone, and you feel pure exaltation.
Where did these come from?
All
Okay,
right,
they were just
we'll just
here.
give it a second,
Awesome.
and we'll pick it up.
Thank you. This moment brought to you by drums.
This, yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
All right, just let me know when we are ready to continue.
RPG snack time is my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. See, we're see like. Do you guys on Vast? Do you guys have snacks? I don't see you guys eating too often on Vast.
Passing this back.
Occasionally.
Sorty? Yeah.
I very subtle
I
fruit
sneak
snacks
fruit
at the table.
snacks and chips.
And I don't see it too much on Foreververse, but
We
I
never
do.
have snacks on forever.
I'll be
We
Oh.
ordered a pizza once, like, I don't know, 19 episodes
Dude,
ago.
Crit Roll, they just, Marisha,
they-
every
they-
single night,
they
they fill up their
stop
mugs
with
with
snacks.
scotch and they grab the candy and they just, like, they got it down.
Are we taking a break today or no? Because I might.
Do we need to?
I don't want to rush it, but I probably am not good for another hour. But I could just sneak out. I just don't want to miss anything. So anyway, I wanted to ask if we were taking a break.
We can if we need to.
Chat, don't hate me. I'm not
Chat,
trying
don't
to
hate Amy.
Pause the exciting.
The doctor needs to take a break. Do we want to pause for a second?
Sure.
Okay, let me check
Then
with
I can
Denise.
have ice cream.
Can we, hey Denise? Oh, she's gone. There's no Denise. We're alone, guys. Oh my God, we have total control of Geek and Sundry Twitch right now. You guys want to? Yeah. What do we do? I don't know. I feel like we should just sync.
I feel like
Oh,
we should
damn it, they're
back
back.
Back.
We were just gonna take a quick. What do you like? 5 minutes? You guys cool with that? 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We just want to take a quick. We just want to take a quick 5-minute break. Yeah. Plus, there's a dog that just came in the studio, so you know how it goes.
Dog and ice cream.
So we'll be right back in 5 minutes. Just stay tuned, and we are going to go deeper into Davros' psyche, and there's some serious crap that is about to happen. Holy crap!
boy.
There's some serious crap. Yeah. So we'll be right back. And as you withdraw from the passionate kiss with Davros, the two of you realize that that's why there was so much hatred. It was the two of you have been so foolish after all of this time. See, I told you there would be coughing and choking and swallowing. All right. So welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. We were just going to do that quick break. As you can see, our cast has enjoyed some ice cream.
Still munching. Sorry.
Yeah.
I started mine last, and I could have eaten like 5 by now. the way
I'm a nibbler.
inhale ice cream. No,
Yeah.
I'm the weird one here, not you guys.
So when we last left off in our break a few minutes ago, you have plunged deeper into Davros's mind. You were looking for his agenda, why he wanted in the TG's base so badly. You had just sort of located it. You're feeling that sense of adrenaline, that excitement, that sort of, it's the same, it's not like a kid opening a present, it's more like a hunter getting ready to move in for the kill kind of excitement. And as you begin to move into this part of his brain, you begin to feel yourself pull away a little bit. It's a weird sensation as you go deeper and deeper in. I need you to make a quick awareness resolve check.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you the difficulty. I just want you to roll it and tell me what you get. And I am going to do this very subtly. Let's see what we got here.
18.
Ooh.
I have to hold them out before they break his brain.
Okay. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. So, for a split second, you begin to feel yourself. It's kind of weird. You feel a little detached for a moment, and then you feel like you're okay. Like it felt like that footing kind of went away for a second, but then you got it back as you go way deep. Davros's ambitions are pretty well hidden away, but you managed to find it. You see an image of Davros himself. You know it's not Davros that you just left behind in that window. Rather, you see Davros, it's a representation of his hunger for Time Lord technology. You see him at a computer database, one of the older ones that you've seen him near before. Probably like an image of what he imagined Time Lord tech would look like if he could get his hands on it, kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's not so much what you see as what you feel. You're just looking at Davros in front of this console, and his one good hand as he's reaching forward and caressing it. And you feel the hunger to get his mind on this tech, because he's limited by what he has here on Earth. And you're hearing the calculations of building Daleks in the back of your mind. You can feel that using Time Lord technology, imagine what he could create. He could finally get his revenge and exterminate the Time Lords if he could create the hybrid, a cross between Time Lord technology and Dalek technology.
Bugger.
Yeah, but you also see inside. You also see as you're looking up at the computer screens, you see his mind, the way he's calculating scientific theorem, and the way he's putting together ideas for how he can create using the vortex manipulator, how he can mute and basically stealthify, so to speak, your transportation into the base. You're looking at all of this. It's the answer to the problem: how to get into the TG's base without being detected. But the computations are way beyond Roko's comprehension. You're looking at this. A lot of them are, first of all, it's all in Dalek, so it's which is almost incomprehensible when you're looking at it. But you're also seeing mixed in with some of the computations a representation of various pieces of what you recognize as Time Lord Gallifreyan script, the circular sort of, but it doesn't mean anything. When you're looking at it, it looks like it's part of the fantasy of what it would be like to combine the technologies. You're just feeling that hunger. Davros definitely seems to be earnest in his desire to help all of you. But it obviously comes with a huge price, and it seems that Sarah Jane's instinct was spot the hell on. Davros does want in there. He does want to mute the thing. He does want to let you guys figure out whatever you need to know. He does want to know what the hell happened and how he can't remember things. And then he wants to take everything he can and kill all of you. It's pretty much exactly what you expected.
Not specifically them, just kill everyone.
Yes, exactly. They just happen to be on that list. It's nothing personal, guys. God. That's what you feel.
All right. Well, I think it's about time to go. One last thing. And right before I leave, I'd like to psychically alter this field of horror so that wherever there's a body, there grows a tree. So it's forests everywhere, just like Roko likes.
You spread out your hands, and all of a sudden the console begins to crumble, and sort of like you hear the groaning of steel, and you see this representation of Davros looking around, and you watch as this console kind of folds in on itself, and this vine just explodes and wraps around the console, and then you see flora beginning to bloom, and all of a sudden the horror around you begins to just melt away into grass as it sprouts up from the ground all around your feet, that cool grass feeling. The blackness and the smoke from the war-torn field begins to just pull back, revealing blue, an endless blue sky, as you begin to completely, like a wizard, just alter the landscape of this memory and this desire. And Davros turns and looks at you and begins to laugh.
The door swings both ways.
And with that, Davros goes, bleeds away as well.
Damn it. Now, this is my safe place. Cheerio! And I would like to come back to the world.
And you wait. And your eye, you're in total darkness. There's a strange sensation around you. As that's happening, Davros, you are standing in front of Finn.
No!
And the two of you are being pulled out of a jail cell by what looks like a Time Lord. He's like, come with me. We're saving all the prisoners. Follow me. And this Time Lord pulls you up, and you see guards, temporal guards, coming around the corner, and a big firefight breaks out. Is all of a sudden you realize you're in the middle of a jailbreak on Gallifrey. You and this human Finn, it looks like Finn, but Finn still has Finn's human arm. The two of you are being dragged out, and you see a big, it looks like a prison.
I wouldn't have any arm.
Oh, that's right. Finn is actually missing an arm. Looks like it's been patched up or like soldered closed or whatever. You guys are in the middle of a jailbreak, and as everyone's running around you, you kind of pause for a second and look around and realize you're exactly where you want to be. So you could wake up now or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I wake up.
Okay. The two of you, y'all are watching. Roko, as you begin to become conscious again, you feel pain, this bizarre sensation racking your body. It feels like your muscles just feel like they're contracting in on itself. It's a wretched feeling. And you also feel it's the difficulty to suddenly breathe. It's just something is wrong. You can feel like something is totally messing up. And that's when you realize you can't open your eyes at all. Davros, as you open your eyes, you are sitting across from yourself, and you're watching yourself go, like maybe you're panicking, and you look down at these reptilian fingers of yours, these plant-like reptilian fingers, and you all see Roko's eyes open, and this weird, unusual smile come to Roko's face as Roko just looks at Roko's hands. And you see that psychic link on the back is still pulsing. You feel the connection is still there with that psychic link. Roko, you begin to realize to your horror that you're not in your body anymore. And that you are, in fact, in a new body. And as your consciousness finally becomes aware of what's going on, you open your eye for the very first time and see the world the way a Dalek sees the world. You are looking at the horrified faces of your companions that are trying to understand what's happening right now. Your body is racked in agony. This creature lives every single day of its life in pain that would probably cripple another mortal being to the point where they were unable to actually function. That heightened awareness that you had when you went in is suddenly like tunnel vision down to this incredibly technologically advanced scanning system where you're able to actually, the moment you spot your friends, you can see all of their anatomy, the state of health that they're in. You're seeing all the weak points on their body, and you also instinctively, you're feeling this sense of rage that seems to be an echo of a psyche that was once part of here. As everyone's trying to understand what's happened, as both of them seem to wake up, Roko, it's so difficult, but your first instinct is to exterminate. As your psyche is now blending with the echo of the creator of the Dalek race's psyche. And Davros, you can feel your lower half of your body.
I start dancing around. I'm like twirling. I'm like
you guys watch
best time.
Yeah,
just, you know.
Roko stands up and
You're
looks.
Roko now.
Not the reaction you were expecting after Roko went into the psyche of Davros, but you watch Roko spinning around and looking quite gleeful.
Are you all right? What did you learn?
Everything.
I'm sorry?
That went better than expected.
Right?
Okay, what do I need to roll to see if I can tell something is weird?
I'll let all of
Not gonna
you.
bite again.
Clearly. weird.
I will let all of you roll. This is going to be an awareness. Probably presence, I think. Or no, make an awareness resolve. Let's just do an awareness resolve check. And if you're trying to fool them, I don't know.
I'm not trying to.
You're not okay.
No.
No, you're exalting the
No, I'm
hell
just
out of
being a
this.
jerk.
Yeah,
Can I add my psychic +4 resolve awareness on this one?
I'll let you do that. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. The shit has hit the fan.
22.
Okay.
19.
12.
I'm gonna give you a +4 bonus.
Because I know
A Roko
Because
A Roko bonus.
you're getting the Roko bonus. I'm gonna give you a big +4 bonus because
23.
you've been traveling with Roko and you're in love with Roko, and there's the thing that just spun and danced and responded. That's not
It's
Roko.
not
That is not Roko.
Roko.
There is no sign of Roko.
I pull my gun.
That gun comes flying out of the holster. You see the scope go, and it immediately locks onto the chest of this creature in Roko's body.
Hold on, what have you done with Rokokokugo?
Sarah Jane just goes, "Oh my God," and turns and looks at Davros.
I'm here now.
The agony, it's pretty intense.
Oh, heavens.
Get that
While I'm
thing off
here.
of her head.
Yeah, what all do I feel about like tech and capacity to actually do that extermination that I want to be doing?
What's your tech capacity? Here's what you know.
Davros, yeah.
Here's what you know. Being in Davros's mind, you have an echo. It's almost like the footprint of Davros is still left behind.
Yeah.
When Davros was brought in, Davros, part of the conditions of Davros staying here is that he was disarmed. Of course, Davros did not disarm himself.
You don't
There
have to
is a hidden Dalek death ray on your person right now. Fully capable of unleashing the same amount of carnage that a Dalek death ray can unleash. It is on the base of your body right now. The knowledge that that thing is at your command and underneath you right now is filling you with such a sense of unimaginable power. Because pretty much anything this thing fires at dies. Yeah.
Good to know. What?
Yeah. So Davros, yeah, there is a gun pointed at you.
Before we go,
Get back in your body, you filthy creature.
before we go shooting anyone, don't you think we should try taking the psychic what's her name off of their head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good thinking.
Maybe that will sever the connection.
All right.
And what if it leaves them in each other's bodies?
Oh,
I'm gonna mess
well,
with them.
I
and,
didn't think about that.
What?
I'm gonna mess with them and run off and try to run away.
When you
We're not going to have much luck with
when he makes
that.
that when he makes that decision, when you say that out loud, you see this little wicked grin, this gleeful grin come to Davros's face as Roko, and Roko turns and runs.
Chase after him.
So now we're gonna go into a chase. What's up?
Dive.
Yeah.
And what did you want to do something?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, stop. You know what I can do.
Oh.
So
But is
I haven't had legs in 1,000 years.
but are they
They're
really?
overrated, trust.
But are they really going to obliterate what is essentially their own body?
The bluff you got make.
the doctor's like,
Davros's, obviously.
"Oh hell, Davros,
He's the scary one.
genocidal leader of the lizard plant peoples from Skaros." So the threat. So if we're gonna move into an action now, we're gonna have initiative get rolled out.
You
Yeah.
can't blame me for trying
No,
to
no.
run.
No.
He hasn't had legs in
You
1,000
do your
years.
villain thing.
It's true. The thing is this is the first time that you can remember where you haven't existed in a state of constant pain. That chair, if you ever leave it, you die. If it malfunctions, you die. If anything ever happens, you've never left the confines of that thing since you took your injuries and created the Daleks. The sensations you're feeling right now, of feeling your arms swing at your side, of feeling your heart beating again on its own accord, completely on its own. Not to mention that the species of Roko is putting you, it's making you aware of all the light in the room. Like you're getting an idea of why that species intrinsically is just by default a curious, like compassionate species. You are literally brimming with life right now. And this is the first time probably that you can remember, Jason, where you haven't, your first instinct was not to kill or destroy or hate, but instead, as you're in this body, you just want to run. You want to run as fast as you can. You want to feel wind racing past your face. You want to feel the way your arms move. You want to push things. You want to flex your fingers. You want to throw your arms up in the air and dance like an idiot. Like there's this feeling to move as much as possible. You forgot that the universe could move like this sometimes. That envy, that hatred, that bitterness, it bleeds away for a split second. And for the first time, you feel a almost debilitating sense of joy that has been absent from your body longer than memory holds. So if your intention is not to escape, then what you guys would see is Davros, instead of running straight out the Black Archives, you're watching Davros Coco basically run about halfway down the hall and then come running back and then running around, just like throwing arms up in the air. It takes you a second to realize what the hell. You're like trying to keep your gun trained on her, on him.
Dab Coco.
Yeah. And you begin to realize what you're actually watching is it's almost like it's almost like watching a child run through a field of flowers for a second. And it almost boggles the mind as you're watching this happen. But Davros is in a state that you didn't think Davros was capable of being in. It's this I'm alive, I'm free, kind of leaping through the air.
Yeah.
You're out of breath.
Yeah.
But your entire body,
But I can breathe.
your entire body is taking in oxygen and carbon dioxide the way it plans to. So you can breathe fine.
This is amazing. So I'm just kind of like, I'm just sort of.
I need you to
enveloped
make-
in the moment. You know?
Yeah, I'm going to need you to make a. This is going to be an awareness resolve check, which seems to be the check of the game for this game. So this is going to be difficulty 21. This is going to be very difficult.
9 plus 1, 2, so 16.
16.
Alright,
You can't help it. You're completely overcome with emotion.
okay.
The-
I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm happy.
it's almost a crushing sadness. It's because this moment, this exaltation is such a sharp contrast to everything you are. Suddenly you're able to see yourself outside of a creature that just wishes to spread death. For the first time, you're actually able to see yourself wholly as a living thing. And it shatters your heart immediately when you begin to realize the monster that you are.
Oh my god.
And as it overcomes, you guys watch as Davros is like, it's sort of like this evil, and then this joy, and then this sort of happiness again, and then you just watch horror as it just comes over your face, Davros. You feel everything you have lost. Everything. It comes crashing down on you.
My body just sort of slumps over. And I sit down on the floor. Because I'm pretty well aware that this isn't going to last. And it's just a temporary mind link.
Yeah, you feel in contrast, in complete contrast on the other end of the spectrum. Roko, you feel like you are on the edge of annihilation. Where you are, it's not, the universe, as you've always understood it, is in a constant state of construction and deconstruction. There's entropic forces, but the universe is always creating. It's an act of will. It's the creation of the universe is a side effect of pure chaos, but it's always creating. It's never the purpose of the universe to completely destroy itself. And when it does, it's reborn again. It's the way everything has always worked. It's why death doesn't need champions. It's why suffering is spread by those who are truly weak. You're beginning to realize that this whole negativity, all of the universe, that it's the product of a mind in pure suffering. And you were able to see yourself in contrast, this living creature. You are aware this rage, this hatred that Davros has, it all comes from a place, an unfathomable place of pain and torment. This celebration of Davros' intellect is translated into a need to annihilate simply because Davros' self-loathing of every being in the universe, it's from his own feelings of I can never be. It all stems from the guilt of the creation of the Daleks. His greatest masterpiece, his greatest mistake, the creation of the Daleks. To stop a war that was raging, the Daleks annihilated his own people. It annihilated the other side, and they became the most lethal thing. You feel this sort of fragility. It's the same. You end up on the same. Basically, the two of you loop around to the extremes of where you are so much that you end up in the exact same place with each other, and you see what is left of Davros. Inevitably, you begin to sort of openly weep as Roko's psyche cannot handle the despair, and you cannot handle that which you've lost. And y'all are watching both sides of the spectrum as these two beings are in utter pain right now.
All right.
Yeah, we go rip it off.
Well, I'm gonna bound forward with the Sonic and spend a couple of story points to see if I can reverse what has happened using the neural amplifier.
Go ahead and make the roll, and I'll give you the bonus for the story points.
No, please. I know.
It's going to be very difficult. I'm going to set the difficulty at 24. So this is
Okay.
going to be an ingenuity technology roll, and I'm going to give you. You're going to spend the story points for. You're going to use the Sonic to spend story points to get an extra 2 dice.
Well, my idea was that this was a alter the story kind of
You
thing.
can do that if you want to spend.
I would also like extra
So-
dice. I don't know how this.
for,
1 point would get you the extra.
I would say if you want to. Yeah, I would say 4 story points.
Woo, okay.
If you want to just.
It's that kind of day.
Yeah. If you want to do it.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Let's make it 3. I think that 3 is more manageable because when you hit 5 is when you do a serious plot twist. So we'll
Okay.
make it 3. 3
Three
story
story
points.
points to bound forward and be like, enough of this.
Okay, yeah, you connect. Sure enough, yeah, that neural link created a 2-way bridge. Yes, you can deactivate it. It will restore them. It will not feel good to either one of them. This is going to be, but it's like pulling a dagger out. It's going to be, but there's really
It's not much of an alternative.
There's really not much. When Davros entered Roko's mind, you don't have much of a choice. This is going to be a traumatic event for Roko, and it's going to be traumatic for Davros.
I'm sorry, it's going to hurt them, but I can get them. I can put them back right now.
Do it. I holster my gun. I slide and just hug.
The last thing you
hugging
feel
Davros.
before you are torn.
I know, but
The last thing you feel before you are torn from this body is human contact. Arms wrapping around you as you feel the embrace of love and desperation.
First hug Davros has had in thousands of
And-
years.
Yeah.
It's the agony of having your psyche ripped from this body back to the previous body is a welcome relief to the feeling that you just experienced as she throws her arms around you. It's too much. And as you grab Roko's body, instinctively, yeah, there's that exactly.
squeeze tighter. You like that?
And Roko, the only thing more painful than existing in Davros' body is being ripped from Davros' body. You go screaming back into your psyche is just ripped. You feel the only psychic agony can only be. It's not really describable, but as you re-enter your body, you find yourself in the arms of Finn, who's clutching you tightly, and the jarring experience of feeling your body again. It's so painful. You hear the scream coming out of Roko's body, and as they're screaming, you can hear the pitch change as Roko returns. And both of them, it's this horrifying like cacophony of screams from both of them. And then at the exact same moment, they both slump. And they're back, and Roko completely loses consciousness. It's too much. And yeah, Sam, Roko just completely blacks out. Davros, unconsciousness would be so welcomed here. But you are back into that familiar stabbing, agony, pain that you have known for so long. Re-entering your body, this wave of exhaustion passes over you, and there's almost a sense, like, I think Davros would probably feel a little more hatred now, more than ever.
So, this is what you do to people who want to help you,
What
Doctor!
we do? You've stolen the body of my friend. I need. Are they all right? How can I have medicine. I have psychic. How can I check? If
Yeah, if you
Roko's
want to
okay?
make the check. Cillian, you've seen some shit. That's just going to be your tagline. Cillian, I've seen some shit.
Hashtag.
Yeah, can you feel if they have pulse?
Yeah.
I know they're still alive, right?
Yeah, Finn's physiology has become. This is not the first time you've had to check Finn to
Yeah.
make sure that they were still alive.
Roko.
Or I'm sorry, Roko,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make sure that they were still alive. But yeah, as you don't have to roll. As you both check, they're still alive. They're back in their body for sure. You can get that much.
Yeah.
But probably needs medical attention. Just rest more than anything.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot you can do when it comes to a psychic transference like this. But
There's nothing for me here. I pick them up and just take
Okay.
them away with no word.
Sarah Jane says,
Finn, where are you going?
They need help.
Yes, absolutely they do. What do we have for facilities?
Roko says, well, I'll inform Martha that you're coming. And she turns around and gets on. She says, Martha, are you there? She says, I'm here, Doc. I'm here, Sarah. What can I do for you?
You're in good hands.
And the two of you move off towards the elevator. And Finn, carrying Roko in her arms, they go into the elevator. The door closes.
Davros, what happened in there?
That's how you earn our trust.
Can't really blame me. It's the first time I've had legs in thousands of years. It's not like I was trying to run away. I knew it was only temporary. I allowed her to scan my mind, and that is what happened.
Them. So,
Nevertheless, you still need my help.
Yes, well, you have given us a lot of information that the moment there's a window, you will take advantage, hurt whoever it may.
time. That information has not been given to you yet.
Wait. So what did I just say?
Well, the information
Well,
is insofar as
I'm being metaphorical.
Yeah, that's true.
You told me what I need to know.
Yeah,
which
totally.
Is that we
totally.
went into your mind
What
and you stole my friend's body.
Right, but just for clarification.
that's-
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
But just for clarification, just so everybody else knows,
Understood.
just remember that everything Roko has learned from
We don't know.
Roko's
We don't
journey
know.
Yeah.
hasn't had a chance
Which
to
is
relate
why
to
I
you.
didn't
But
care
y'all are
and
fine.
just left.
Yeah, you haven't stepped out of bounds.
If
or
I
anything.
knew, I would
Yeah.
have stayed, but because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care about you, saving
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're good.
I'm going to make sure my friend is all right, and then we will continue this conversation.
Sarah Jane looks at you and says, I'm very sorry.
No words. Just leave me be.
And with that, the doors begin to close, and Sarah backs out. Everybody, I'm
I feel a
guessing.
little bit bad, but like only this much.
Okay. Yeah, Doctor. Again, it seems like every time you encounter Davros, you learn something new about Davros. And Davros has been, over the course of your interactions with Davros, a master manipulator. But as the door closes, you see Davros kind of turn and begin to move away to be alone. And the door just... And there's a moment of silence where Sarah Jane just... Well, I could use a drink. We should go check on Roko, I think.
I never thought seeing Davros have a moment of joy would be the saddest thing I'd ever seen.
I think the thing that I find most disturbing is how disturbed I was seeing it. It didn't make any sense to me. I didn't think he was capable.
It's full of surprises.
Do we have anyone watching him? Because
We're in constant contact with him to make sure he stays here.
okay, because I mean, after that, whatever that was, I'm kind of worried about that thing guy.
He's secured in the Black Archives. Besides, if he leaves it, his life will be at risk.
Okay.
But I will say, I think the thing I find most disturbing about this is that it's so much easier to hate someone when you don't see their humanity, for lack of a better word. I almost wish I hadn't seen that. And with that, Sarah moves towards the elevator. And a few moments later, you all find yourselves upstairs in the medical bay. And there's Martha, Dr. Martha. She's running tests on Roko. And you see this smile on her face going, wow, she really is just so interesting. They are so interesting. Like, I mean, plant life, reptilian life, Truly, it's remarkable. Did you know that they eat every single second they absorb sunlight? Can you imagine that? And still, look, kind of does, nice figure. It's quite amazing. But they're going to be fine, Martha says to you. They just need rest. We've seen psychic transferences when we first tested that device some time ago. And we've seen this before. Nothing to this extreme, but just rest, if you don't mind watching over them.
Wouldn't be anywhere else.
Well, then let me know if you need anything. We have coffee.
Would I have ever had coffee?
You've never heard of it.
Nope, I didn't think so.
You think it was you're pretty sure that coffee was a, what's that?
Would I?
No, you would have.
Coffee's old. No, coffee goes way back. But
Yeah.
coffee is something that was something that people were usually stealing.
Would I have had access to coffee?
Probably not. No, that was a rich person thing.
Okay,
back in the
so-
day, coffee was like chocolate. In the early 1700s, which I believe coffee was already discovered by then.
All right.
Well,
It's a new thing
it's been
in the New
around
World,
for
like,
way longer than that
New
in
World.
certain
Yeah.
parts of the world.
You know what?
Since she was a
It's
pirate
Doctor Who. It's Doctor
in
Who.
the Caribbean, right?
it's-
She would have had access.
Yeah,
to it
absolutely.
Out there.
Yeah. So it's Doctor Who. We're gonna say you've had coffee before. I mean,
One of your biggest scores
Sorry.
was a load of coffee.
not just. I mean, we're gonna say coffee exists throughout the universe because in Doctor Who it should.
Yeah.
Plus, Douglas Adams, I believe, actually had a hand in writing some Doctor Who. And there's no way that man would allow a Doctor Who universe without coffee.
Definitely not.
So,
Argument from Douglas Adams.
or tea. But yeah, anything.
Or perhaps a drink that
Do you
is
have something
almost
about-
exactly, but not quite, entirely unlike tea.
Yes, exactly. Also, quick side note as we start to wrap up the game here, and this is totally outside of the box at this game, but they have announced a Princess Bride RPG. I don't know if y'all heard about that. Yes. Oh my God, even Denise. Yes, there's been an announcement that there's going to be a Princess Bride RPG. I think actually Geek and Sundry covered it. They're covering the release of that, so keep your eyes open for that because that has got to be a target for Eric's TBD RPG,
Yes,
right?
it does.
Right?
Yes.
Someday.
Yes.
All right. Anyway.
Inconceivable!
Exactly. Oh, so Jason, we already know Jason's going to be on it.
Yeah.
All right, so
I think that word means what you think it means.
yeah.
Anybody want a peanut?
No,
Boulder
Mom,
Wolf,
I mean it!
So Martha moves off, and Sarah Jane stands there for a minute, and just checks her watch and says, "Well, it's been a day. We'd still like to move on the TG's compound as early as possible, but now I think our hand is forced. We have to rest at least for another 24 hours. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that's a good idea.
And we still need to figure out what we're going to do with Davros."
Yes. You don't have anywhere we could stay, do you?
Yes, we have quarters here. I'll have my colonel, the leader of the intelligence group here that met you in the alley. I'll have him escort you down. Says, "Colonel, could you please come in here?" And you see a man you've never seen before walk into the room. He's square-jawed, a little bit of a goatee, sort of dark, sort of bark-colored skin. Comes in, says, "Yes, ma'am." Says, "Could you lead them to the guest quarters, please?" Says, "Right away. Follow me, please."
Miss, what's your name? I'm the doctor.
"Yes, I know, we've met." "Alan? I arrested you in the alleyway. Do you not
Right,
remember
I
me?"
don't think we were properly introduced at the time.
He said, we were in your TARDIS when we came back to the hangar.
Sorry, quite a lot has happened.
My wife is Martha, and he motions over to Martha, who's computing.
Oh.
Oh, right, hold on. Am I talking to Mickey?
No.
Did we meet Alan and get introduced and find out he was married to Martha, and I just forgot that this happened?
No.
Nope.
Well, okay. Just making sure this wasn't an
Amy's taking
Amy
a,
problem.
"I'm sorry, am I going insane?" Which is the appropriate reaction.
Alan,
Yeah. Sarah Jane steps forward and says, Doctor, are you feeling all right?
Where's Mickey?
Who's Mickey?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you serious?
I'm sorry, Doctor, what's happening?
That's not funny.
That's what
Where's
I was
Mickey
wondering.
out? Where's Mickey?
You know, my cousin Mickey?
Alan looks over at Sarah Jane, and Sarah just says, I'm sorry, Doctor, I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about. Your cousin? Your cousin? There's no one here named Mickey. No one in my staff. What's wrong? Why are you?
We have a problem.
Alan is looking kind of confused as well. He says, should I take them to the quarters, ma'am? And he says, no, wait. What's wrong? What's the problem?
Where's Sonic Alan?
Okay, go ahead and roll your scan. It's going to be
I used my
a
Sonic like a tricorder, sorry.
ingenuity, yeah, ingenuity technology roll.
13, 15... 23.
Okay, 23. I'm going to give you a +2 bonus. So now I need you to make an ingenuity science roll. I'll make it a +4 bonus. This is going to be pretty easy.
14, 21.
Okay, that's way past the target number. Alan is a human male, probably about 32 years old. He's in pretty good health. He probably smoked in his youth. Well muscled, probably been spending most of his life training in the military. Judging from the looks of it, probably very capable at what he does. And he's very real.
There's nothing odd about him at all.
Aside from the confusion on his face, he's looking at Sarah Jane for answers, and Sarah Jane's looking at you guys for answers.
Do you think Rocco did this? Or do you think this is something else?
It must be something else. I don't see how.
Could
Sarah Jane, we have a security problem. This is not the man we met in the alley. Our friend Mickey was here.
She looks over at Alan and says, ma'am, I'll subject myself to scanning if you like. I am the man who escorted him. And she's like, no, I know.
Someone has changed things. I need the TARDIS.
Very well, Doctor. Let's go to the TARDIS. Are you going to be okay here? Sarah Jane looks at you.
Oh, this is happening in our room?
Yeah, this is all happening right next to
Oh!
Rocco's medical bed.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I was just reacting as Gina, not as Finn.
Which is, might I say, a gift to me as a GM, because watching you freak out in the corner of my eye every game has been wonderful. But yeah.
Oh. Well, then I need to think about what I would think right now.
Martha?
Here's okay. This is going to be the game. Okay. So this is the crazy part. Ready? You don't know what they're talking about either.
Okay.
This is Alan. Alan rescued them from the alleyway. You don't know who this Mickey is.
Doctor, what are you on about? That's Alan.
What?
Alan, you know, the bloke I wanted to shoot earlier.
Detecting a human being, obviously out of time, probably from another time period. You're guessing early 1700s, 1700 to 1715. Modified gun that's been outfitted with various technologies, way past human capacity, and also a cybernetic arm that's probably capable of crushing a car door. And no small amount of sass. But you are not detecting anything unusual about Finn.
Something's changing you. Something's changing all of you. You remember Mickey?
Of course I remember.
Vibrantly, adamantly, yes.
Of course I do.
You had that conversation.
That's not going anywhere.
We're the only ones not from here.
Oh God, that makes sense.
Something's changing this world.
Oh God. What are we gonna do, Doctor?
I don't know.
We've got to get to that to Gallifrey, haven't we?
The long way around. We have to end the game there. Yep, we are. So we will pause there for now until next Friday.
You bastard.
You. Yes. Yes, indeed. We will pause there for now. Jason Charles Miller is Davros.
Thank you.
Who will be
Incredible.
who will be returning next Friday to
Yeah.
continue the role of
Forever
Davros.
and ever.
Because I think nothing we were supposed to do today actually.
No,
happened.
no, dude,
great.
no, dude. You guys went way off the map.
And
You guys went way off the map with what I had
Good.
planned today.
That was so cool, though. That,
I also
mean,
thought
bloody hell.
I just thought that I was going to be able to read your mind. I didn't know I was going to be able to take over your body. So that was all just like improving at that point.
Yeah, that was great. That was great because
Yeah.
that was the product of good story point expenditure. Because you burned 8. Holy crap, you burned
Yeah.
12 story points.
It was horrifying to be in your character's mind. They were a delightful person to play across from.
So as we wrap up this episode, just wanted to give tip of the hat to anybody in the Los Angeles area, just so you guys know. I don't know if we have anybody who knows about this, but the annual Doctor Who convention, Gallifrey 1, is
1.
actually not this weekend, but next weekend. And Jason,
Yeah.
you're going to be there, yeah?
Yep, I'm going to go on Saturday for sure.
Saturday, and I will be there Sunday.
So,
If all goes well. I didn't get tickets this year, but Jason's going to help me with that,
yeah,
hopefully.
we'll try to work something out. Yeah.
We'll just beg. Otherwise, I'm gonna go cosplaying. So I'm just gonna hang out outside the hotel as one of the doctors. So if you see me there, if somebody out there who's at Gallifrey, say hi.
Yeah, please do.
I've only been to Gallifrey once. It was magical. I got to listen to John Hurt talk about his experiences as the War
so
Doctor. It was so
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but until the next time, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of TBD RPG, and we will see you next Friday.
Round of applause for Eric.
Seriously.
Thanks. All right, bye, guys.
Dreams